to make that chain of tiny pickoffs harder than it used to be. So we're gonna have to see. I honestly favor eSpoiled a little bit from the draft here.
Alright. I can get behind that. Guess if this Storm Spirit is able to have a good laning stage, you control the runes, so the difference is able to pick up the majority of those, I think you can hit a pretty good timing for this Medusa Slardar to start applying impact on this Radiant lineup. But if this Storm Spirit doesn't get off to a good start, I do fear it is a game of mid laners. Lesh would like to snowball, Storm would like to snowball, and just take over this game. So you gotta really watch this mid lane in this game on who gets ahead of the other. If we just see a 50-50 split, we might be in for like a 45-minute video game. Because I don't think these side lanes are going to be that detrimental for either side.
I don't think so either. Should be stable. We're watching the Medusa get encroached upon. I want to point out, by the way, it's clear that these teams know each other very well. They're actually writing out the well wishes. Full text, as opposed to just GLHFing.
Alright, let's see what comes out of this. Already the invasion down bottom. eSpoiled's going to be able to get themselves at least one extra bounty, but they did try to split at the same time for one win. So make it 2 for 2 and get this best of 3 underway. The stakes are high because the winner is going to be heading over to that grand final. And of course, with
still
everything
here.
that's been going on, Chen, no TP for you. That's just going to be straight up first blood. As the core, the man we highlighted before, well, he's just going to be the victim of his previous teammate, Kasane.
We've seen this from one win before, right? Keeping these heroes grouped just a little longer. Especially, it is, once again, I think one of the things that gets made possible by Kasane's really sturdy hero pool as well. Just leave him on the bot lane for a little longer, hunt a little more. Grab yourself that first blood. That's a great start for Triple S. Here on bot, we're gonna see... We're gonna see a lot of messing around between these two, I already know.
Oh yeah. And especially now that Jakiro did get that first blood, he's bringing in a ton of regen on this courier. There's Mangoes, Clarities, Tangos, an extra TP scroll. Usually you'd see like Jakiro with early brown boots is pretty solid, but in a lane like this, you do want to punish this Slardar as much as you can. Meanwhile, Granny does have brown boots and was looking for that Jakiro courier, which is going to park behind the trees. Ryota is just going to wait for that courier to reveal himself again. And 1 hit, 2 hits, there we go. Still got the job done. Extra money for the team.
He's not that great of a hero before you get the first point into the Guardian Sprint. Usually 2 into the Crush, 1 into the Bash, and then the 4th into the Sprint. And that is where suddenly these lanes turn. And that's where the Jakiro absolutely can become food to a Cookie and a Sprint.
There we go. We had a small drop there on Kip's end, but yeah, the build up there on the Slardar does need a couple levels to get things going.
And Aztegor has just sent his group to the mid lane. Everybody loves Mana Burn. Except Squadix.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of damage, actually.
It does. I mean, the Satyr in the end is only like 300 HP, I think. So one Lightning Storm is almost half of its HP. I don't remember if they have any magic resist on those Chen creeps. The normal way every other creep would have. But still, the Mana Burn on Lesh, because Lesh is such a mana-hungry mid-hero. And of course you would say every hero is mana-hungry when it comes to the mid lane, but Leshrac especially, because you cannot regenerate fast enough unless you pick up your 10 talent. You're level 3 at this moment, so that's like it's a distant dream at this point.
Your animation is kind of ass. I mean, at very least you're lucky you're up versus a Storm who doesn't have too much more right-click than you do, but it's animation's not that great. Your armor's better than it used to be, but ultimately your last hitting capabilities really rely on you using the Lightning Storm and pressuring your opponent out with that as well. Otherwise, you're always going to get outdone.
And then you have this dilemma as well. Like, I'm not a mid lane Leshrac specialist, but considering you're going against Slardar and Medusa and you need to gap close, you might even think about picking up that armor on your level 10 instead of the mono regen. So that could be something that gives an extra buffer. I mean, +4 armor is the same as a Helm of Iron Will. We know we're playing the Dominator meta. So
we are.
very
I mean, especially
HP.
Especially if both of your supports are
Trying to fight down in mid. Let's see. That could be a kill, but there was no edict available. Gonna have to resort to raw right clicks, and Ryota will die. Sweden Strong got the apple first. And into a Jakiro Ice Path. Kasane, does he have the... No, he's gone for Twin Terror, actually, on the support Jakiro, so he didn't have to follow up Ice Path stun, which could have given an extra poke. Very curious about this decision, actually, because... how I see Twin Terror is a core Jakiro facet. Of course, later on in the game, your damage output is technically, it says every 5%, but you do 2 auto attacks, so every level is technically 10% damage increase. So you start from 40 to 35 to 30 to 25, so technically it's 40, 30, 20, 10. And you really pack a punch with that hero. So I want to see if this Jakiro can come into effect with just those raw right clicks. With Twin Terror as a support.
Yeah, I imagine he's saying in this game that he doesn't need more stun here just because his team has so much disable available already. And
yep,
instead wanted to make...
They do have a lot of lockdown.
And this does really increase your lightning potency as well, just in the raw trading, because most of the trading you do early game is just 2 supports plinging right clicks off of each other.
And it could also be an indicator towards what I mentioned. This could be a long game 1. So if you are building up to that level 25 facet at some stage of the game where Liquid Frost and Fire both start to deal max health damage. But ain't that a dream for a support Jakiro. 6-minute rune spawning. We're going to get a split on both sides of the river, but we're going to be fighting in bottom. Difference will take the grab on Squadix as he's hit level 6 first. But that edict hurts, and Sweden Strong gets the toss, but the cookie from Ryota cancels the toss animation, and now Tiny is set up for a kill for Difference, and he will get this one by the looks of it. There we go. And I have to say, Ryota with the cookie timing. You see the Tuskus, so I see the Tiny is coming in. You know he's going to toss back. And the timely cookie just sends the hero the other way around.
Big deal here as well that Squadix had to share EXP with his supports earlier, so did not have the level 6 there yet. Maybe if you also get to pump that Pulse Nova, you might be able to get enough damage uphill. Oh.
Interruption there onto the Slardar. Munkushi will get his mono region out. Oh, sorry for the voice crack there. It's early in the morning, but Triple S will get the kill on Waste 21 and knock out the Slardar.
And already 1 win, both of these supports ready to move around the map. Like, Squadix running after Difference here.
Radiant's courier has
Means that 1 Shrine of Wisdom, both Shrines of Wisdom go to the Radiant.
I like the idea on the Storm, but just a timely fight to take down in bottom to secure that I have level 6 on Dawn. They're diving in too deep. That is a bit of a mistake from eSpoiled to even play that deep in the lane. If your only purpose is, I want to push the wave out so we can secure the Wisdom. But it looked like they wanted to fight and then win that fight, then take over the Wisdom. And, you know, just undermine that they have a Dawnbreaker in their team and we don't care. They instantly paid the price.
Yep. And Difference tries to make up on the... Yep, that hurts. Difference tries to make up on the other side of the map, but the funny part is that if you want to take a Wisdom, you gotta stay in the same position, and that's where Storm is definitely gonna lose out to Leshrac.
I think the funny thing about as well, if a Storm Spirit is challenging a Wisdom rune, the hero technically disappears in the circle, so all the time spent in Ball Lightning is completion progress for the other player who's standing in the Wisdom shrine with you.
Yeah, you're not on the map.
There's a chance you might lose it.
It's weird how the programming of the game actually matters for that.
That's why SD is so good for that 7 minutes. You bubble them up, or Bane, you just sleep them out of the circle and say, hello, I'm taking this.
Look at this
They're
level
setting up
8
a Medusa.
Dawnbreaker.
See what they can get done here. Loda 16, 1 charges. Doesn't look like this Medusa's going down. But Munkushi is coming through the gate with the Dragon Form already activated. So they're looking to find a kill and push the tower. As Decor, there's a Squadix running into him with a haste rune. That's Goodnight Chen. Might even be Goodnight Difference if he finds him, but Storm can always zip away. But they got the kill they were looking for, which should open up for the objective.
Nah, which objective?
The Medusa.
Snake Lady is
just
the
get in
objective.
range of the Avalanche. Blood Grenade is also available, and there's the catch. And they're setting everything up on Snov, and they'll take this Medusa.
Slardar,
bit late for this.
I don't even think he wants any of this heat. That is a risky place for him to be.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Has he actually changed his nickname? Because I was looking at the
The
offlaner for eSpoiled, and I have no idea how to pronounce his current nickname, even though it is Waste21 and has his alternate ID. Is it just K-Up?
Let me check that.
Really expert on pronunciation.
Well, expert, I'm not even gonna try currently. You know what? It is also early in the morning for me. Definitely too early to start reading Cyrillic again. I saw Gorosh earlier, and I was like, oh, let's go. That was good. But I just recognize the shape of the word. It's very much like I'm very much TikTok reading there. I'm not actually reading.
Yeah.
It's just like it flashes and I know.
Right, you're just like me. You see something, you get an idea, but the idea is completely wrong. But it's got some sense to it.
I'm not literate in Cyrillic, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I just know some words.
And that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, referring to the whole Astini conversation we had before with him being in Pari Vision, he can understand the people, but he can't necessarily talk back or read or write what they want to achieve. Waste21 is being set up here. One funny thing about the Tiny and the Lesh, it works both ways. You can toss to the Lesh, or you can toss the Lesh to them. But Slardar is able to escape, gets caught by the Watcher activated.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Got supports on mid lane working their way towards the level 6s. The supports of eSpoiled were definitely a little bit underleveled after the laning stage, and let's face it, OneWin has been chasing around the map with these supports, but didn't get as many kills as I think they would have liked, so they too need a little bit more time, a little bit more EXP.
I like the fact that eSpoiled did go for that deep Obs Ward run on the... actually, that is Storm Spirit himself, because he knows there's no room for him to farm on his side of the map. This is all left for the Medusa to pick up like 70% of this jungle. Slardar will take the side of these of the dire bottom tier 2 area, and then Storm has to farm elsewhere, because this is what happens if you go back to your side of the map to try and find something, even a rune or anything. And I feel like even if he picks up that illusion rune for himself, and you're doing the right thing as a Storm, you gotta control those runes. But OneWin knows even better that we're fighting for every 2 minutes in the river, and this is the result. They find him, they kill him, and SSS is stealing some stacks here as well. While they spot the Medusa, the whole team is charging in. A good cookie from Ryota will get Snov at a safe distance. Waste21. Applies some corrosive haze from the sideline. Storm jumping in onto Munkushi. Mortimer's Kiss is applied as well, but they just lock down the Storm and the Medusa, tossing in the snap. Still not out of harm's way. No Solar Guardian. eSpoiled will find a big value kill on Munkushi. Squadix, no edict for him. One charges are up. Fairy Fire's there too, but it's not enough sustain. And Difference, with the last bits of his mana, is able to find that kill. Make it 2.
Finally, OneWin get punished for their overextension there. That is, their call to go back, disengage, was very clean, but you don't get to disengage versus a Storm Spirit with a full mana pool. Not like that.
Is a bit of a bummer, right? Because if you look at Snap's quick buy, you look at Slardar's quick buy, they're both at the same goal towards their Blink daggers, and they're very close to it too. So you kind of, you just accelerated eSpoil's timings with that.
Yes, and if you look at the comparison, the one that you really want is the Blink Dagger on the Tiny, and that one isn't even in the works yet. As far as funding goes.
There was a heroic alone range creep that just killed Storm's courier that had the missing component for Kaya.
Oh no.
So that Kaya's delayed by another 1.5 minutes, but I guess he's okay. There's an 80 rune down bottom. Squadix will get this rune away from him. And the 14-minute wisdom, Ryota is trying to challenge SSS, and he's just pinging out, hey, there's a Snapfire here. Can we cancel the TP? Yes, we can. Avalanche from Sweden Strong down from the low ground. And they'll pick off the granny.
Kushi holding that bottom tower. He's got the armlet. Flying into Mask of Madness now.
Yeah, talked about the Mask of Madness earlier on, and not for the Slardar though.
And is one of the reasons why DK feels so good is you can itemize. I don't want to say purely for DPS, because of course the armlet does also give you a decent amount of armor.
Oh yeah.
But you just build for the DPS
DK build. When you're playing the Fire Dragon. This is what we played for a very long time. You get Armlet into Mask of Madness. What you do is you pop your ult, you toggle your Armlet, you blink stun, pop Mask of Madness, and right-click for free. That's basically DK gameplay for you.
And that's a lot of damage very early on in the game. We've also got 40 extra sustain now, the Dawnbreaker Aghanim's, which is another reason why you can definitely go in on a DPS. And we talked about the Lesh as well, right? Is he going to buy any extra armor this game? He also says, nah, DPS is where it's at. Dawn's gonna save me. I have a Gaia. I'm building the Blink. We're not deviating from the standard build.
And he's also put all of his points into skills. He's been putting 3 points in Split Earth. Leaving Lightning Storm at level 2. Hasn't picked up the level 10 talent. Now we're bringing the whole team to get a rune for Storm Spirit. He's always on the wrong side, isn't he? But he's probably going to get this invis. It's protected by a ward, so if Squadix were to go there, he'd probably just fall flat.
It might be literally the first power rune difference gets to pick up this game.
Lucy's DK form is running quite low in duration. Difference was heading down bottom, but looks like they're just going to resort to more farm.
Who wants cookies? Not too bad.
I want to point out here, though, normally we've been talking about how Monkushi is completely left alone, but he's actually contributed to a lot of the fights already. And that means that the Medusa is the one who has been free farming instead.
Yeah, I think that is the key word is the Medusa, that they finally have an outscaling carry hero against them, which they need to address. So Monkushi's also had to do an adaptation. But that also means the whole team now has to kind of change the way that they're looking at this game. Obviously, yeah, you can definitely scale on this Radiant lineup, sure, but that Slardar Medusa that we've been talking about, Slardar only needs Blink and Shard, so you apply Corrosive Haze, and then Medusa just starts right-clicking targets, and she will wreak havoc when it comes to the late game.
Yeah, I love AoE physical damage heroes combined with heroes like Slardar.
Tiny is dead, by the way.
Looks like it.
4 versus 1.
From all different angles. That's a delay on the Blink again.
Yeah, Slardar Blink has, at least now, finally been shown. And Snapfire still able to keep hers hidden for now. They take this fight, try to limit using ultis, because like they pinged in that top left corner, Tormentor's going to be up in 2 minutes. So you got to be very cautious about the ultis you're going to be using now.
Yep, and one win is going to have triple Blink for that if they get any say in it. Lesh very close to his, the DK just bought. Only delays on the Tiny.
Trying to smoke up towards the Medusa. They saw that the creeps were moving. Someone's coming back to this, and they spot her. They go straight for the Medusa. 4 versus 1 on the other side of the map. They'll use the Solar Guardian for it. It's a good kill. And I think they still have time to get their Solar Guardian back up by the time the Tormentor spawns. So if this was any 10, 20 seconds later, probably might end up biting them in the butt.
Let's see, because they don't have wave control on top right now at all. Asticor is even flanking here.
They're pushing it tier 2, just straight up. Getting some poke damage, trying to force them back. SSS though, dangerous waters. There's Waste 21 and Difference on their way. What's Dawnbreaker up to? That courier is sent on the ward spot. They'll place down a sentry, and now do they mass TP? Do they get to run here in time? Dawnbreaker in trouble. Difference almost dying. Chen has to ulti, and SSS is almost down, but they managed to get that Storm Spirit to a safe distance. Ryota falling though, and Asticor to follow. They'll clean up here, finding a couple kills, trading off their Dawnbreaker.
The lesson for you.
Very important that One Win comes to defend this area, and they were close enough.
Though the movement that they had there was great. The way that, because where is the enemy team? It's behind the wave that's currently shoved out the furthest. So if you want to find enemy heroes, you get all the way behind. The only difference here is, of course, that they actually get vision of that Dawnbreaker being jumped. And they have to come back to their side of the map. But otherwise, they were in a position to cut off. They were going to find heroes no matter what they did on One Win there, is what I'm trying to say. It's really clean movement, and I was talking about how they don't have wave control top just before the Tormentor spawning. Now they do, they've solved it. Easy peasy. Tormentor squeezy.
Easy clean up there.
Still have 2 outer towers left. Another smoke.
Stupendous.
This Medusa would like to finish up that butterfly before she gets hit by this gank train. I don't think she's gonna get to.
Alright, running down in bottom. Medusa gonna get blown up again.
To smithereens, you say?
To smithereens, indeed.
Yeah, the triple blink dagger, and it's quite remarkable. When you see the triple blink coming out from One Win here, you can't help but feel that there was a window missed with the double blink for the Slardar as well as the Snapfire. They got a single kill off of those 2 items on the side of eSpoiled. And now that the triples are up on their opponent's side, they just keep finding murder after murder.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No, not quite.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
One really cool thing on the Jakiro is that he got the Tormentor shard. This is something that, when I play Jakiro, I might just consider buying it straight away at 15 minutes if I have the money for it.
Oh,
if I
here's
don't
a
have
jump.
one item in my inventory already. Talking about jumps, yep, sweet and strong. Just tosses Difference away. Difference going for a second jump in. Finally gets out. The Pavis blocking enough damage so that he's able to blink away. Breaking that blink.
That sucks. I was talking about how they were not using their blinks, and the one time they do, nuh-uh. Back to the drawing board. And then you gotta
Get with the smoke though. They're heading down middle with Kasane, Squatic, sweet and strong.
straight for the
Heading
triangle
over,
vision.
hoping to find the Medusa again, and they're not wrong about it either, because Medusa is going to walk under the Watcher. This will give them the insurance that this is the hero we want to find. Can they get there in time though? There's also Ryota, so they'll have to suffice with the Snapfire. Mukushi is trying to find the morph. The Medusa got stunned by an ogre. A casual ogre bruiser stun, and Medusa's gonna die because of it. Oh my god. That just happened.
Oh,
So a little bit of qualifier magic in this one too, huh?
That's just ruinous. I love the split blinks there. They know the Medusa is behind there, so you only commit a single one on the support. You jump deeper with the DK. But a little help from your friends.
Friends, eh? Oh man, that's gotta be the absolute worst feeling right after Morphling shifting all his HP out and some random range creep or I don't know, a Satyr banish or something happens on the side and you just disappear because of it. The Ogre Bruiser is no joke. That stun was enough for them to gap close and kill the Medusa on top of that Snapfire. And that means they now have control over this Roche Pit area too. They got rid of Vision. They've got their own ops placed down, which Storm Spirit is afraid to approach. So an expire in 15 seconds. The difference is going to get the D-ward for it.
Good for OneWin to respect the capabilities to fight in that Roche Pit, though. You do still not want to be up versus the Snapfire, versus the Slardar.
And they're out of
You don't have
smokes,
BKBs.
so they can't go. They don't have a smoke on them right now, so they can't invade for the next 2 minutes actually until the next smoke is available in their shop.
But Dawnbreaker BKB finished. You might feel like that's enough, that you have double on your cores. Leshrac just rocking the Ghost Scepter. Going into the armor next.
The most value item for its worth.
Versus Slardar Medusa? Yeah, absolutely.
I just love how my English is so broken that I'm saying like the most value item for its worth sounds like it's the most worthy item for its worth. It's like, yeah, duh.
Water is wet.
English lessons 101.
And another invasion here. They have been so consistent with putting out the deep vision on OneWin and then smoking in later to reap their rewards. And it's all been made easy by this Dawnbreaker, who just keeps on sweeping up every single wave that gets pushed in. She's too thick, too tanky for anybody to go on her, risk getting support TPs on her head. And the rest of the team can be out on the map.
Well, Roshan gonna get secured for OneWin. I'll be happy to pick up this Aegis and start ramping things up on the map. Those tier 2s all still standing on the side of eSpoiled. eSpoiled who so far only been able to take 2 tier 1 towers, so that mid T1 still standing. SSS shows bottom. Slardar thinking about the jump. Storm's got no mana though. So he'll just reveal himself, they'll force him back, they get the quick pings, they're here. AD waiting down bottom. SquadX, is he interested in this? The Storm Spirit's coming in too. Difference wants this. Tiny's TPing out, and they're gonna leave the room for the Storm, and now they react and realize, but Difference is
has no mana.
Still gonna die for it. He got a BKB, but he's got no mana. Either he used as a BKB and he's still screwed. Well, he gave the room, got the kill. Guess they're happy with it.
Yeah. And the Storm perhaps still glad that he kept that AD rune out of the Leshrac's hands, but I don't know, you're going to start losing several towers in quick succession here. And your Medusa is still only halfway towards the Skadi, because that butterfly in a game versus the Lesh just is not enough survivability. He needs that extra HP over the top, he needs the slows.
Big items being queued up for OneWin. Is there anything fresh here for eSpoiled? Scotty is still over 2,000 gold away. Slardar doesn't have the shard core. I mean, the shard is okay. Could maybe pick up that. 600 gold off. That was what my whole plan was basically with this Medusa Slardar, is it makes it easier that you can instantly apply that Crush and the Corrosive Haze from that to multiple targets. So if you get this quick jump in and Medusa starts throwing in hits with Stone Gaze, you can definitely delete some heroes.
Yeah.
Jakiro not known for his armor, Lesh not known for his armor, Tiny has 0 base armor.
Yep. And you can see that as an indication that they're simply not ready to go yet, right? Like, for sure you'll want that if they're at the ready. Slardar jumps in, but the TPs are already coming.
TPs are already on their way, and they're going to be late for this eSpoiled, that is. Even BKB's up, but that unit goes straight through, and on the back line, we'll find Munkushi on Ryota.
Every time they make a go, every time they make an attempt, they get punished. eSpoiled just hasn't been able to get a grip on this game. You know what I like? This Storm Spirit is has currently queued up the Nullifier. They know they gotta be able to kill this Leshrac.
Yep. How are they going to kill him with physical damage if he has a Ghost Scepter? I do like the thinking on that Nullifier. Yeah, not. You do not kill this Leshrac.
Of course,
Simply.
this will give him, yeah. He is simply walking all the way up into the enemy side of the map, by the way.
Dire's bottom tower
What a beast.
is under attack. Dire are
It's going to look at this tiny position as well. Anybody who even thinks about coming close to this tower, this last side lane tower, one more standing in mid, half HP. One doesn't care.
Time to start poking that high ground. We got 1.5 minutes up on this Aegis on the ledge.
Tower melt.
The Snapfire to try and fend off the attackers. That is a 100-second cooldown now, which will not make too much of a difference. He also is really interested in defending. Maybe a pick on SSS that they could force the whole team of OneWin back. Might come at the cost of some heroes, but they're actually TPing in the Medusa. Now they're TPing in the Chen. So they're going to let go of their plan to fight in top, but it has already cost them the melee racks.
And the DK just tipped over into level 20. Extra attack range. Makes his sieging even easier. And he's going to have, before the next fight, at least a mini crit as well. But maybe we'll wait to finish the full dayless. And that's where the DK really starts to come into his own as a carry.
Yeah.
Medusa, extra stone gaze duration.
If you can only get benefit out of it, but that could still be the game changer for them. If heroes get caught in, say, a cookie stun for long enough that the stone gaze applies. Squadix is charging in with the haste rune. eSpoiled recognize they can't fight this Snob though. He's stuck behind, and now they're going to set themselves on top of that Medusa. Can she get her ulti off? Cookie save, another stun follow-up, and she finally gets the stone gaze off. This might be the opportunity. This is the chance to strike. Squadix goes down. SSS is going to have to run away, and Kasana is going to be dropping to this Medusa as well. Or is he? The healing from the refresher. A second ulti from SSS, but it still will not make a difference. The fact that Dusa gets her ulti off, been going on about this for, what, 30 minutes? And that's the changing moment. eSpoiled gets a fight that they can take.
Waiting all this out. Monkushi, yeah, please. Please, Hurricane Pike out of there. And that they're just running out of DPS on OneWin. They went on the target that was offered to them. Snob says, you don't have the damage to take me. Not anymore. And he is correct. And that's just overconfidence from OneWin. They'll leave the backline alone, let all of those reactive abilities, give all of the vision for that Storm Spirit just by engaging into the Medusa. They have all the information they need to pick apart the targets that they want on eSpoiled.
But a very important win for eSpoiled as a whole. Do want to remind people watching right now, where we have some audio desync issues, but we unfortunately don't have a fix for it currently because we'd have to restart a lot of systems. So we'll have to fix that for the next game of the lower bracket final. Don't worry, guys. eSpoiled going to target the Tormentor this time around. They'll get themselves a shard, and the ones missing are Storm and Chen. Both pretty handy, especially when you think about the Storm Spirit one, which is the overload. And then, of course, when you hit 25, that's the real kicker, right? Because you can get the overload attack bounce, so you get Ags on Storm Spirit, and you find 2 targets, and you can delete people with that. It is something that people don't really take into account. It's like, oh, you just get a double overload. The thing is, it bounces a lot. So you can just do massive amounts of damage. This time they target base 21 with the first ulti from Dawnbreaker. Refresher still on cooldown for 45 seconds. They're unable to get the catch, so that's a BKB and an ulti spent by the Dawn. eSpoiled only used the BKB off of Slardar. Drop it down to 7 seconds. Yeah, this game is getting harder and harder for 1win.
It is. Right now, the Lesh is not going to do the most damage with the BKBs up on the enemy side.
He needs level
Definitely
20.
hindered. He does.
I mean, it's not even the fact that Lesh's damage is falling off. It's just that the Edict damage doesn't scale really. I mean, you can amp and give some extra pure, sure, but it's the level 20 where you start to hit multiple targets, which starts to make the difference. But he's 3 levels behind the Storm. He's 3 levels behind the Medusa. Hasn't really gone any further in experience, which is a bit of a bummer for this Leshrac, considering how well the game's been going for 1win. I'm surprised that he's falling behind that much.
I'm not even sure if the game has been going that well for them. The goal differential never was that big. They spent a lot of time chasing as well, which is a lot of time that you don't spend farming. And sure, you keep the pressure up, right? You keep that pressure up, which means that it looks like you're in control. You are in control in a certain way, but there's a cost associated with that. And we see that, for example, in his Leshrac's levels here.
Time for another smoke here for 1win. Who are they going to go for this
Over
time?
and over again. I mean, this one definitely partially just is to get vision down. They've had aggressive vision kept up for the entirety of this game, and currently they have nothing. So one of the things they just want to do is make sure they have eyes on the enemy side of the map again. So
Yeah,
that...
one ward with them.
Yeah.
That's going to be the only ward.
Let's see if they can bait themselves a fight with this, but... eSpoiled would rather hug their base for now.
And they're playing the map better on the side of eSpoiled as well. I think our observer highlighted the Dominator on the Snapfire, which has also been an extra addition to all of this wave push for eSpoiled. So they've been given a lot of time to get back in, and they don't really mind losing that 1 melee Rex down in bottom, because right now they feel like they can be the aggressors. They're going to smoke up and start heading towards that top lane area. Squadix is going to get shown now. Kasane is nearby. Mukushi, sweet and strong. SSS is going to have to react appropriately with that ult. Looks like they're going to lose that one and only ward that they placed down. They're back to a dark map.
And the Leshrac is lagging behind here.
And they're all under vision. This ward's been sitting here for quite some time. Difference gets the BKB up before the stun connects, but there's a follow-up on it with the Solar Guardian. SSS is being torn to shreds. They'll lose the Dawnbreaker, and now Difference is going to continue with the hunt. Going straight for the DK squad is going to turn around with the buyback coming in from SSS. They're going to try and explode the Storm Spirit. They got it! 3-man stun as well as the core to fall. And Medusa will be pretty much alone with Waste 21, but Mukushi also has to reset. Jakiro is moving away. Squadix getting that double edict finally into play, or is it?
No.
With that Medusa falling, there we go. Level 20 is in. They'll still win the fight in the end. Storm buys back, Jakiro buys back, and so does SSS. But with very narrow margins, do they take this win on 1win side? Mukushi was basically living off of the remains of the armlet.
I mean, honestly, 1win's super lucky there that it's SSS who gets picked to get gone on, because he does have that refresher. He tanks so much damage on that first go. Dies, gets to make the buyback, refresh blade, come back in. That's what turns it. If you kill anybody else first, I'm sure you win that fight on eSpoiled. Nobody else can come back in like that.
He actually didn't even pick up the double edict. He went for the Pulse Nova damage. Alright, attempt to catch somebody, but nobody around. It's just the creep hero unit revealing that scan. That's an Aegis for Mukushi. Also a downside that DK is not the best Aegis carrier when it comes to things. Like if you compare DK or this Medusa.
Yes.
There's a pretty big difference.
Say a Storm Spirit, mayhaps?
A Storm Spirit, mayhaps. Yeah, you got some pretty solid Aegis carriers on one side. But you know, the one big stretching item here for the Dawnbreaker is that AC that will come into play. Will help counteract some of that physical damage on heroes that are lacking armor right now. At least you got Shivas on the Lesh, and DK in general, and Tiny also having a lot of armor, but that AC will at least keep your supports for another round of spells.
It is one of the highest value items you can get versus minus armor lineups like that. I think it's in general a little underbought. The problem here is that in this game as a Dawnbreaker you simply can't afford to buy it any earlier than this. BKB for the Lesh. All of these abilities to weather the Medusa storm.
Got an 80
So they're
in
all
the
going
bottle for the
brawny too.
DK.
Extra health. All they need to do is wait out the jump and the burst of one win.
But I guess at this point, like if you have that 80 rune, you can also resort to sustain damage on this DK if Makushi is kept alive. Problem is that they don't really have any heal in their lineup. They don't have a lot of saving items. I mean, they got the Force Staff and the Lotus Orb.
And they're gonna force the issue. Banner down. Anyone who shows is game for the toss back.
Makushi's attack speed is a bit worrying. Of course, this is no longer the Mask of Madness that he has, but very sluggish right-clicking from this DK. Got the Nullifier out, but the Lotus Orb to follow to protect him. Only get a few hits onto this melee Rax. They clean up the banner.
I like how Chen has his entire army, all of the auras, the war drums, the unholy aura just sitting in range to help the Medusa, but out of range for any possible jump.
Yeah, I love that you get accuracy increase from the Rumble Hide, but there's no Butterfly, no Radiance. At least you get extra attack speed. It's all about all the small things.
I'm just imagining that this is Snub's cheerleader squad. He's just got a bunch of animals swinging the pom-poms.
That's the real Medusa. Do they fall for the bait?
Surely not.
They are respecting that Medusa showing up first. Maybe they just go for the range racks. Big wave pushing down bottom with double catapults. Squadex considering going in just to finish off a building. I mean, anything that they can get.
You'd really rather let the catapults do the work here. Keep fishing.
Catapults got there.
Sweet and strong. No catch.
Snapfire just spitting a casual Alpha Wolf at the catapults like, I choose you! Straight out of a Pokemon battle. Range Rax is down, and now the Glyph is forced. She's starting to soak up hits. He's got that DK form only freshly popped, so he doesn't want to give away his Aegis just quite yet. Maybe at the latter moments of that Dragon form running out, still you have to work with the cooldown, so they're only doing some poke damage, and I like the patience. Of course, it's the fact that we understand you have strong heroes, but we have Aegis. We could just throw heroes.
Makushi wants to go into the base.
Try what they did before.
He's got 40 seconds left. He just drew a arc in.
There we go.
Toss back
on the Medusa. Can they get another? BKB goes out from the Medusa, and they'll lose the Tiny. Very likely because of this, but they forced one defensive tool. SSS can't keep his buddy alive, and they got the Leshrac as well inside the last moments of the stun. Finally gets the Ghost Scepter off. Will survive the initial burst. I think they also got shocked by that. Oh wait, the Lesh actually got stunned.
What's this?
Must have been the wind. 4-man smoke though, leaving the base. Storm Spirit wants to join this smoke most likely too. Aegis is out. 17 seconds for the Elder Dragon form.
And I'm a little bit surprised that they went for that play instead of switching over to the top side and continuing the slow siege, but now with a full Rax taken on the bot. Instead deciding to risk that Aegis. Try to leverage it. No cigar.
I honestly would prefer on the Storm Spirit, not the Hex, but the Axe. He's got Hex queued up, but I'd
I was
rather see an
thinking the
Axe, because he's already hit level 25. So pick up the Shard, pick up the Axe, just both of them together.
Make sure that when that tossback happens, when they're all grouped up hitting into whichever hero got thrown back in, you get to have that black hole effect.
Yeah, the black hole effect and the burst that it brings with it.
Might not
It
go
would
through
also
BKB.
allow you to play more aggressive into the backline and get that Storm Spirit paired up with a Slardar, as Difference has disconnected.
Who wants cookies?
So we're in
Not
a
too
momentary
bad.
pause. Slardar is soloing the Tormentor at the moment, so this could be, yeah, this is going to be the Shard for the Storm Spirit, as Slardar's going to finish this one off.
And I think that's one of the things that we've seen a little bit too little from, perhaps from Difference this game. We haven't seen the Storm Spirit just zipping through the backlines, giving information, looking at what he can get. Because there's not actually, apart from the DK stun, many ways for him to die if he does that. He's been very reactive so far, waiting for one win to overextend.
Yeah, he hasn't really been the Sumail on that Storm Spirit, if we want to bring up a comparison.
No, he's been
the difference
much more
between
Abed.
Difference and another mid laner. Haha. Awful joke.
But for Abed, right? EG would play these lineups where they would position forward and force the enemy to engage into them, which is one of the scenarios where you get enough vision for that Storm Spirit that you can afford to have a Storm Spirit as basically your only jump hero. Because the enemy is going to come into you, and especially the TB, right? With the proxy push, you shove 2 waves, you install yourself in the enemy triangle, enemy comes in, Storm Spirit sees everything, gets his pick of targets. That is the way that EG leveraged that that counter-initiating Storm Spirit. But they haven't really found that way here yet. Though the Medusa is a hero that you can play that way with, for sure.
Yeah, I do like some teams do play around like a specific objective, or maybe a player having a certain play style that it's easy to kind of connect on that. And Abed has always been that one solid, reliable, trusty mid laner. It's also the theme in NADPC, and after that, where you got to start with the raid boss, and the raid boss is Abed. If you can't topple him, you're not toppling those side lanes either. So that was because when you take EG in comparison, or Shopify Rebellion, that was the most structured team in Dota history. When you think about like how does their gameplay work, it's like clockwork. They have a set plan, and they were the best at executing it.
Yeah, at the time, but I gotta say, Aoi 2000 for me has absolutely taken over as the man who structures team the most. That is.
Yeah, let Amar pick offlane Ursa. But
no,
you are right. You are right.
The recipe they have for how to play the map, when do they go, and specifically all of the times that they do not go, absolutely nuts. And
yeah, he definitely doesn't have to do a lot of scolding.
This Falcons lineup is less disciplined than the Tundra one that we had. Like, that Tundra team was by the books every single damn time. And I feel like people don't really want to think about it all that much, because they just kept winning. They made it look so easy. And that's boring. That doesn't grab your attention. But if you think about the inner workings of herding cats like that, then all I can say is I take my hat off to the man. It's no wonder that he's the most decorated coach in Dota history right now.
Yep.
Phenomenal work.
He is the GOAT. No one's going to take that title away from him for quite a long time. Should make it even better next year long. Right. This is going straight to my screenshot translate. No idea what's going on here, but apparently there's a bit of an internet issue regarding difference. So he's not going to be coming back shortly. Let's see what this is. Okay, so the situation is he doesn't actually have internet at all. So we might be facing an internet cafe situation for difference. The translation roughly by screenshot is, will you give me your time if he goes to the PC club for a while, will be. So yeah, as you can see, very rough translation. But they are asking if they're willing to pass over their pause time. Now I'll pick the rest of that conversation. This is slow work, but we're getting results.
No, I'm really appreciative that you've got that at the ready. In general, guys, like casting with T-Pan, I mean, this man has got tools for everything. It's very.
I wish you didn't just say that, because I don't know what means instead of che dash. 4 times and waste 21
running into the
good
slang.
Mood. Good mood. So I think there's, let's put it this way, there's a compromise at work, and I'm not sure if they agreed on anything, but we'll know in a few minutes for sure if there's the situation where OneWin is allowed to unpause. They will unpause the game, and then if they decide to pause, which means that's the gentleman move where they give their we're using our pause time.
It is, but I dislike that it already got asked for. That
yes,
is.
You don't ask for it. That is absolutely a fact.
And I've been in that position, but you're powerless. You have to rely on goodwill, and you can't be like, hey, but you're good guys, right? Look at that. I'm very happy that we don't get to rehash that whole thing. If you're in a position, guys, don't ask for it. Just explain that it's force majeure, that you can't do anything about it, and let the enemy be generous.
But we have 2 more minutes of pause time. They've asked still for a couple seconds, so I'm guessing we're talking mobile internet here for difference, most likely. That unless he managed to fix the problem, which is kind of hard as a player, right? Because if your ISP is down, your ISP is down. You are not fixing that. So they're just taking a moment. I think that's when ready. So yes. I'm guessing that OneWin is ready to go whenever eSpoiled is.
Like in a team house, you usually have backup connections. You'll have at least 2 ISPs. But unfortunately, it's pretty much undoable, especially if you're on like a tier 2.5 team, like paying for 2 internet connections just for yourself by your lonesome. If everybody on the team does that, that's a lot of money per month.
It certainly is. Even in Finland as well. Like if I would like to get myself a reliable support service for my ISP, that cost suddenly increases a lot. But at least then you'd have the guarantee of if my main ISP is down, I'll have somebody on the line fixing it right away.
Business connection.
That does cost a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a pretty penny.
You're already paying most of these players like either wages or bonuses, and you have rent, and you have boot camp to run. Boot camps aren't cheap, by the way.
No, they are not.
Because it's not just get the guys together, it's all the food, it's all the accommodation, it's all the stuff that you're doing outside of the Dota. It's not even the electricity bill that is the thing that worries you.
The bloody building itself? Are you renting that from somebody? Is that your own house? Like a Vega Squadron, for example, had a villa somewhere near Moscow. But you can that's only really economical if you've got people boot camping there basically all the time. Which means that you need to be a multi-team organization. They had a Counter-Strike team, they had League, I think, at that point as well. So for a smaller org, you got to be renting. Renting bootcamp space, not cheap. Renting all those PCs, not cheap. It's a hole in your pocket, no matter which way you do it.
Yep, and then you try to get results as well to cover those bills.
You can't guarantee those.
Hey. Yep, hey, it's a business.
It's all business in the end.
45 minutes on the clock. Just a 2k net worth lead or less on the side of OneWin. We don't really look at economy. Mostly focused on what is the answer for eSpoiled to get out of their base with this Dusa Slardar. So TLDR, you haven't watched the game and you're only just now tuning in. It's pretty much, does Stone Gaze connect on multiple heroes or not? And what is the response on the Solar Guardian jump? Because obviously there's not a lot of high armor heroes until items start to kick in on this this Radiant lineup, where the Corrosive Haze, Medusa in the big role. Now we have a 26 Storm Spirit with the Shard and the Overload attack bounce, but we don't have an Ags on difference yet because he is committed to this Hex. Hex is a great item. It can work really well, but I'm biased. I would like to see that Aghanims because I feel like that extra pump of damage, I guess there's always the fact that you cannot guarantee there's going to be more than +2 heroes nearby to each other.
Strong.
But they are literally stacking again, and they will delete Ryota. Sweden Strong with the toss play, gets the kill. He's nullified, he's blown up. Snap, Tiny, both instant buybacks. Mukushi still has a BKB, but no Dragon Form. The timing might be correct. They do get jumped by this SS, and they're trying to kill Mukushi from a distance. He's armlet toggling in the trees. It ain't enough. And Squadex is trying to get some damage done in the middle of the fight. Waste 21 trying to make a runaway as well. And Snovd with the Medusa is left alone for now, but they're going to go for round number 2 and try to get this kill. Medusa about to fall, but not just quite yet. Squadex is dropping low as well, and Snovd is coming up with the buyback. We get everybody back in for round number 2, as Ryota is going to be jumping back in again, but that Snapfire is going to be history, and eSpoiled are going to lose 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many heroes they lost in that fight, but Sweden Strong, Mukushi, they all bought back too, and SSS is going to get targeted for another round. Dawnbreaker trying to make it out of this fight. She does have a buyback, and Leshrac as well. Difference is fully committed to keep on going, takes Sweden Strong's Tiny, and forces at least one dieback, and Jakiro will be another to drop. eSpoiled will clean the majority of the kills in the end with heroes remaining, but they burnt their buybacks, and one win did not just quite yet. That's 4-2 on buybacks, a full team wipe on the Radiant side.
Oh, they will be forced right now.
Yeah, Chen survived by existing. So, as the course just been watching on the sidelines, like, you go, boys, he's the cheerleader.
This Jakiro, he's got a macro fire, but the threat of the jump, please cancel those blinks, my god.
Of course, the tier 4 towers try to get those buybacks out. It will not have a Tiny for 70 seconds. DK goes in, buyback from the Leshrac, gonna get that Solar Guardian, but the OD staff will make a dodge. Waste 21, dropping low. Is he gonna make his way out of this one? No, the Slardar is down. He's gone for 2 minutes, and Squadex is dangerously positioned in the front line. But Mukushi also with the BKB up 30 seconds for another Elder Dragon form. They go for another Blink Stun onto the Medusa. Doesn't have Stone Gaze available right now. Nullify onto the Dragon Knight. Difference going at work, taking this DK out. What be it, but the armlet toggles, keeps him alive. Squadex lands another stun, but it doesn't connect on the Medusa, doesn't connect onto the Storm Spirit, and they get to hold this base for a little bit longer. They don't have their resources right now, so they will not go for the instant chase. But man, oh man, they got the buybacks out, they only lose the Slardar, and now we're going coast to coast. Roshan is also up, and this favors one win, Kips.
Nobody in this game has buybacks anymore. There's an AD rune on bot, there is a Roshan waiting on top, and this Aegis is going to be the only respawn opportunity on the map.
Items are coming up. Fresh Diffusal for Medusa. Hex picked up on the Dawnbreaker.
And that was
And nobody has a buyback, Kips. Not even the Chen.
Not even the
just
bloody
kept
Chen.
more.
2 lives on Monkushi. I wonder if you wouldn't rather have that on Squadex, just because Squadex also, not just the HP pool and the survivability, but he also turns his mana into damage. I wonder if he wouldn't be the better Aegis carrier here, but on the other hand, he does get the Refresher Shard. We get him an extra BKB.
I'm still curious about Squadex's level 20 talent tree choice, because he then went for the Diabolic Explosions, but he picked up... But he didn't pick up the extra target for those explosions.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps hoping to simply...
I guess the Nihilism together with that 20 talent. Maybe gives you an extra DPS boost, but you can itemize versus magic damage. But still,
Yeah, what
he's
I'm
getting the
thinking
results.
is that it geared for straight up single target pick off as much as possible. Do not spread the DPS.
Yeah, Medusa's definitely the problem. For Leshrac, what I would understand on that is the if you had spell lifesteal amp. Or spell lifesteal in general, which doesn't look like Lesh has a... Okay, he's got the enchantment, the vampiric enchantment. So getting behind that 10% spell lifesteal, doing AoE damage, maybe that's the trick. But you're not the most durable. However, this could be the game over smoke for either team. If OneWin finds a pick, eSpoiled, that bottom lane is gonna push back. But they're going straight inside the base. I love how eSpoiled are positioning under the safety of that remaining tier 3 tower. They won't find anyone open. And look at that, the dire scan. Are they in our base? Are they sitting here?
Not this time.
Now they got revealed. Not this time, but they're under vision. There's a lane ward, there's a cliff ward. Should at least clean these up first. Taken down. Planted the Roche banner down. That banner got removed right away. Snapfire throwing in one of those tormentors.
Hex finished.
That's a warning shot. Now the blink stun onto the Medusa, instantly followed up. Sweet and Strong coming in. SSF, BKBs are burnt though, so Difference should be able to get back onto the move. Already the Storm Spirit taking the majority of the first damage on the first wave. But Leshrac, though, standing her ground. Another jump stun coming in from the Solar Guardian, and they've got the Medusa locked in. Medusa running out of mana. Do they have any flowers? The toss back, Sweet and Strong saved the Medusa by accident. That's not the one they wanted to do, but Ryota is dropping low. No Chen, no Snapfire, down to 3. Medusa back to the fountain, going for the instant teleport, hope to take down SSS, but Difference is being locked down. Stun to stun, Waste is there, DK is isolated, Aegis down. 30 seconds until you have an ulti available. Difference going to be focusing on Sweet and Strong to hex up the Medusa and keep her out of play. Mukushi trying to find that Storm Spirit, but just getting razzle-dazzled and has to force snap to the low ground. This Tiny might just go down to this Medusa's right clicks. One more, is it enough? No. Waste 21 commits for it. Force snap with the stun. Ice Path
too late
by Kasane. Won't get it. The game will continue.
And did you see the difference in operations there? Happened twice before the full fight broke out, but it is now the DK that goes in first, stuns the Medusa, and draws... She's not under threat from that stun, right? No way. But nonetheless, eSpoils take the bait and they bring forward both the Slardar as well as the Storm. And the second time they do that, they actually walk straight into the response from the Leshrac. So that DK was there not to siege. He was there to, especially with that jump, to force an instinctive reaction that for eSpoiled doesn't even make a lot of sense. That DK is not enough of a threat to show all of your heroes, but they bit twice and they nearly lose the game off of it the second time they do that.
Yeah, having an Aegis carrier in the form of a DK, you do not have an ulti for the second round, so it's all about that first go in, unless he gets himself a refresher. Even a refresher shard off of Roshan. But certainly causing problems of its own, and also Sweet and Strong with the tiny toss.
That last toss, man.
He tossed it towards eSpoiled, which is towards their base, and that saved the Deuce. It could have been a whole different result if they sent the... I mean, it could have been also them all wiping if he sent them in, so hard to say. It's a what if.
I think in most parallel universes, this game is over. Medusa was not supposed to get out of there. But she lives,
now,
and she'll have her buyback again.
Yep, we're getting to the point where everybody's buybacks are returning. And Chen still can't afford, so nothing's changed there. I loved how all 9 players had their buybacks on cooldown, and Chen just didn't have the money for it. He's been living off of passive gold for maybe the last 25 minutes.
Yep.
His Zoo is not the one that pushes, it's the one that Ryota has that's been pushing. And Snap actually sold that Dominator to have Ag's Refresher. And 25 Snap is still a real serious thing with that +8 Mortimer's Kisses. Those things start to sting. And eSpoiled.
They do.
When's the last time we've seen them exit?
Dire are
Finally,
Could.
they're the ones on the warpath.
Yeah, I mean, the change of tempo could surprise OneWin, but I feel like they know. They do not have a deep ward placed down to... No, they
Look at
don't, so
that
they don't
army.
even see those couriers flying in. Difference. Now look at Slardar. He hits the creep wave and sees the heroes. The Hex is on the Leshrac, but the Force Staff is there, out of the Gorgon's grasp. Forced out the BKB. That's pretty much
Pushy
all for
in.
now. Slardar taking some big hits here. SSS does get the Solar Guardian out, and it's connecting onto a couple of heroes. As the core, it's going to be the target of it. They're still battling to hold ground. There's a Night's War placed out by Ryota right next to the tower. Dawnbreaker trying to make her way out. She will not be able to get so. That did get the refresher popped. So there's a
Force
Solar
Staff.
Guardian. If there's a turnaround, when does she go in? Here's the return. Slardar down and onto the Storm. Difference down as well. And now Medusa is surrounded by hostiles, and Snov will fall
Oh my
as
God.
well. Storm is gone for 2 minutes. Doesn't have the money for a buyback. Gonna have to do something really radical to make sure Storm is able to return, and I think the mission is somebody pick up those bounty runes. There's 2 down on the ground.
They used all of their BKBs in the in-out-in portion of that fight on eSpoiled, and then when they hard commit, Leshrac says, cool, let me turn on the nihilism for a sec here. That was brutal.
The fact that in the last 5 minutes of fighting, eSpoiled has only killed 2 heroes since they managed to fend off that high ground defense. They've only killed the Tiny and the Dawnbreaker once. While on the other end,
Oh yeah.
like, the kill score is like 10-2 in the last 6-7 minutes. Sweet and strong, trying to get a grab off of Ryota.
Dire's middle barracks
Now the space is open. Could just be entering Mega Creeps territory. We might be entering 60-minute neutrals.
Might be, and they actually do go for.
The funny thing is, if they just went for the
They don't-
Ancient,
they
they could have
don't know
actually
that
won
the
this
Storm
game
doesn't
because
have
they don't know
buyback.
about the Storm. Can't
Yes.
afford the buyback, yeah. Snov on the side.
are under attack.
She go for the siege, protected by the split Earth Shard. Dangerous to try and approach this hero with those stuns landing the whole time. Just protecting Mikushi. The last melee to fall, and that range Rax does not have regeneration. 20 seconds for Storm. They also never picked up those bounty runes, even though they had heroes nearby, so they might have been able to get that buyback up on the
Blink
Storm Spirit
committed.
already, but that's Mega Creeps now. Snapfire with the spit. Can only do so much onto the DK. We're looking at 60-minute neutrals territory now in this game. Mega Creeps defense for eSpoiled.
I mean, what's the difference for them at this point? The way that they've been playing already, the way that this Medusa has been sitting in base for the past half hour. What's a couple more creeps into your base? If anything, this is easy. You don't have to go out and look for them anymore. The only problem would be, of course, if you cannot go out of your base in order to grab those neutrals once they come in. And that is where OneWin might want to keep up the pressure.
Mambo, mambo, umachiri, mambo.
Su lechita y a dormir.
Roshan, 35 seconds.
Who wants cookies? Well, too bad.
It's going to be the objective that OneWin's going to be playing for. Wonder if eSpoiled has got any similar plans. As the ward placed down inside their base, just on the edge of that sentry, so Ryota doesn't even see, because it's like 2 pixels away.
I can't
That's
even know.
That's a lane that they can always play. If they see somebody coming to defense of that top lane, there's a chance to just pick somebody off.
Roshan once again on the menu now. No way for eSpoiled to contest this.
I was about to say that DK would like to get that refresher shard, but he's got an orb of his own.
At this point, I mean, no. Aegis once more to the DK.
But now it makes sense.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Tiny's found the Medusa, forcing out the BKB from Snov, thinking there's other heroes around here too. The TP cancel from the Solar Guardian. And they're all collapsing on top of Snov. Can they get to the rescue?
Isolated.
Can they get to this Medusa's rescue? Another Solar Guardian connected. Snapfire in trouble. Difference in the backline. They're all getting torn apart. eSpoiled with just one simple moment. Their hopes of getting this game together comes crashing down like a comet. And OneWin will take the lead.
Just like that, it's over. No more epic base holds. No use for saving up for any buybacks. Just once again, a tiny scouting and finding. And they've been searching.
It is terribly. So I think that maybe if eSpoiled can't hit that 15-minute timing on their lineup, with Darkseer probably a pipe game is not out of the ordinary. You get the blink on the Slardar. You have your Tusk rolling around together with the Slardar, trying to find picks here and there. Maybe their teamfight is then at its peak. If they don't get that rolling, then you are absolutely right. I feel like OneWin can again dictate the moves, the initiative, decide when this game is going to be over.
Yes. Now, to be fair, this is going to be a mid Slardar. So we will be seeing him very high level, very early blink here. Up versus Squadix. I think that should be a pretty darn good matchup for the Slardar. Hard for me to see the Void Spirit have a good time in a melee matchup like that.
30 seconds to battle.
I mean, I guess it's just going to be a farm lane between the two. That's what they optimize for. Void wants to get a fast Ags, maybe even a full-on Vessel build. Not a bad idea for a game like this.
I would love the Vessel. The question is, of course, maybe your Bounty Hunter has good enough of a game to get it himself.
I guess it could leave more the aura items to be built on Sweet and Strong, because we've seen the Dawnbreaker is not really the guy to make them.
No.
So you could beat Sweet and Strong with building up the, the drums is something we talk about a lot, like a very basic item, can pick up Vlads, he's a great pipe carrier.
See, I mean, in general, I'm a big fan of the Vessel on Void Spirit and on the Ember as well. I think it fills in a really important slot, not just for their mana regeneration and stats, but also in general to fill in that gap in the early mid-game where they have the mobility, but perhaps not the damage to get solo big offs. Really makes them a threat on the map and gives them a way to bridge into the first big item as Munkushi. Okay.
Level 1 Metamorph right away off the bat with the Fatal Bonds, and that just takes down the Darkseer, and I think this is a trend that's going to continue quite a lot. That's a Darkseer Tusk lane. There's not much that they can do. Just try to secure as much farm for the Darkseer, and OneWin should be able to just trade and brawl much better.
I mean, on the other hand, the Warlock should definitely be under threat. Oh boy.
You should, but how do they threaten the Warlock?
You gotta get past the big bad Terrorblade first, yeah.
Yeah. And you've got Iron Shell and potentially a tag team. But you've got this really strong heal, like the Shadow Word early game heal. There's a reason why when you take a 2v2 battle, you force the Shadow Word on one target, you focus the other. Because it's a lot of wasted DPS, so you can out damage the heal, but is it worth it? You'll probably end up losing somebody in the process.
Yeah, and the wave would have to be really close to the Dire Tower for them to have enough time to walk down a Warlord who's got the Shadow Word going. He's never going to be that far forward, so you're right, he's a tough find. But, you know, Kasana might mess up.
He might. But I do feel like this is a farm lane down in bottom. It's a farm lane probably down in mid. Maybe it is the top lane that ends up giving us all the action, as we saw Snov get his first kill for the team off of the Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter, famously weak laner. Troll, famously the opposite, so this attempt to pull waves here is once again going to cost him a lot of HP.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Bounty used to be even better, not too long ago. Like the hero has maybe struggled from those small nerfs because both Bounty Hunter and the Riki were picked as pos 4s because they had really good HP regen, they had good damage output, they had high armor. And during that meta, we saw only physical damage pos 1s. Usually needed a pos 5 that enables their gameplay. So Bounty and Riki were both really good at it. Now you're exactly in that matchup where you have some brawling capacity, but against the troll it is really difficult to get anything really going for you.
No, like you can have 8 armor all you want. The problem is just that you're going to get laid into the entire time, and it's not going to cost the troll any opportunities to CS in the meantime.
But his job is maybe just work as a, you know, cannon fodder. Right now they do find an opening to jump on Snob. Well, 5 seconds still left on that Starbreaker, so all they can do is try and slow down the troll as much as possible. There is another Shuriken toss available. Is in cast range though. He is now outside of it, so he can't slow the troll. He'll get a full duration salve off. But without losing any HP, that's a pretty good trade. Sniping Snob's courier. Gold there.
Yeah, and so far, Dawnbreaker having a decent time in his lane in spite of the pressure from that troll. Another wave getting pulled. As in mid. Squadix has been doing a really good job on the denies, by the way. It's only just now that Difference has overtaken him. But it's also, here's that level 4 for the Slardar again. Where the mobility increases.
It's a very different matchup, right? Because the Void Spirit has tools to get away from the Slardar. And also poke back. The Slardar ain't exactly the toughest matchup here. Maybe the level 6 changes things, but then Void Spirit also has Astral Step. You can play much more aggro. But it is kind of going as expected. It is just a farm lane. They're just chilling about. TB's been doing a bit of poking on the Darkseer whenever he can, same with Kasane, but still this is also mainly just a farm lane for both. Waste has been picking up a nice amount of CS, again another surge away. While in the mid lane it's just Squadix can hit that 6 just before Slardar. There could be a small window that he has level 6 when that 6-minute rune is spawning. He could get it from this wave if Difference doesn't deny any of the creeps.
I don't think you have space to bring either of your supports in though. The Warlock, not that big of a help. Bounty Hunter.
Bring the Bounty. Dawn is actually quite fine on top. You could bring the Bounty here.
He is making his way over.
But Difference did hit his level 6 now, so Corrosive Haze is online. He needs 1 creep to die. He's got 8 seconds for the rune to spawn. He's not going to get that creep, so no Astral Step.
Doesn't want it.
The Remnant plays down there. The rune spawns bottom. That's a shield. Kasane just yoinks it away from the Ryota, who just for a moment put his camera elsewhere and loses the rune because of it. Pops the attack team, but nobody to hit. Squadix is now also level 6.
And he's level 6.
Fine.
He gets to step away, but he might have to again in the future because if Difference laid 2 bashes and a stun into him there, he was at 1/3 HP. It's scary stuff.
Yeah, that 3-point crush is pretty strong. I remember correct, there was a point where if you had maxed out your crush, you could delete the creep wave by just pressing your W. But then again, top lane, SSS is under trouble. And for the first time, Dawnbreaker will be the one jumped on instead of her appearing with the Solar Guardians. That's a good move from eSpoiled to take this play and head straight over to the Wisdom. And Squadix cannot stop them from taking this Wisdom, while Kasane and the boys, well, at least the troll dies. You know, he popped his ulti and got stuck under a tower, so Squadix is like, well, sucks to be you.
Radiant's top tower is under
Moreover, Squadix got his Urn of Shadows just in time to get the charges off of that, so he's stepping back out into the field immediately with that extra damage. That's huge.
Yeah, and he's going for that vessel. Very happy to see that. As the core gonna get nuked almost by Squadix. Urn is not doing enough damage because of the regeneration that's kicking in. And Void Spirit's got no jump, so Difference is gonna secure this kill. This Void Spirit's going down. That's worthy of a tip right there.
Yeah, no, he was really, I mean, I was feeling it, he was feeling it, but not with Difference coming right on back in and you lacking another step to come out, and now you're going to lose your tower off of this most likely as well. That's really early to lose your mid tower.
Alright, well.
Barely any pressure applied.
Sweden strong. With the Solar Guardian right on top of Difference, and he just uses Leg Day. Guardian sprint away, dodge the stun. It will run out though in a couple seconds, but they have no idea where Fishy has gone.
And the troll laying into the top tower. This is not how One Wind usually gets out of their laning stage.
Yeah, the adjustments that they made by putting that Slardar down into mid, it's now in full effect. Void Spirit has been pushed back. Doesn't matter that the Darkseer is having a rough laning stage, because his farm's still okay. He's keeping up. And Dawnbreaker's not that far ahead.
She has now lost her tower as well, which is going to give so much room to breathe for Snuff here. It's going forward for the Battle Fury here as well, so if we ever wanted any confirmation, yeah, that the Maelstrom, it just isn't worth it anymore. It's just, as he sees the Terrorblade, he's like, yeah, whatever. I wanted to get farm.
Because the thing is, like, if you see a Terrorblade, you build Maelstrom Vulnerary into your farming item, because that's going to be your damage item too, through all of that armor. Yoda, that's a deep scout right there. Fortunately for One Wind, they have nothing to follow up on it, and Difference is already hunting for his next target. Dropping the wall, slowing down the TV, Snowball coming in, and there's so many targets around, and maybe with Kasane dropping a big Bond, they just need some follow-up damage to get somebody killed, and that Bond is going to last for a while. Ryota, a couple more hits might just do the trick here, get something going, but see the Sweden Strong is just going to walk into the trap. 2 heroes down, the bottom lane being pressured. Will not get anything going from Squadix. I'm not sure where he TP'd to, because he had to teleport on cooldown. I'm not sure if he just went straight down to mid to deny. Yeah, it looks like he denied the tower in mid and then suddenly had to start running down bottom. I didn't quite catch that.
Very awkward.
Yeah, this is pretty good for eSpoiled. Everything's looking good now.
It is. Now, the Blink Daggers are going to come really fast with all 3 outer towers being down. The tier 1s, that's a big injection of cash. It's going to give Difference his Blink pretty much right now. And that's where you can immediately start putting aggressive vision into the enemy jungle and start squeezing even further. You will have the reach.
Just what you need. They're going to turn things around onto Snov, and he's stun locked before he gets his ulti off. Troll will go down, and Ryota now being chased. Squadix doesn't have a jump available yet. Turn charge on him, counter to follow. Kasane getting in range for a field drop. He'll drop it there. SSS will get this one. So 2 picks. Going for One Win.
Golem online. That means that the Slaughter... Slaughter is going to have to think twice about the jumps that he makes. Might want to actually be on the Warlock himself.
Yeah, there's a good chance he might even be able to nuke him. He is level 9.
Straight up.
He's only got a 1 point bash at the deep, so I guess it might not be enough. Somebody else follows up on it too. Snowball onto SSS Snop. They tried the same thing before, and they haven't been surprised about the fact that One Win is still sitting here with 4 heroes, because the Void Spirit is also here. So Ryota goes in, and to his amazement, they brought all the buddies back. In reality, they never left. Well, Aztec Difference are hunting for a Terrorblade. See the illusions running about.
Dire's structures are
Get this Blink to connect. They have seen all these moves, though, with those wards placed down in the river. They have 2 Observer wards, not too far from each other.
Just jump on mid instead. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Munkushi saw this coming from a mile away.
attack.
Middle lane. Clean up middle lane. Clean up in the middle lane.
Is under attack.
It's a puddle.
Dire's top
Maybe a
tower
little bit of frustration from the starter. You would have liked to get an opportunity before this bounty hunter gets, well, 6, and maybe you're still getting it because you're getting the bounty hunter. Not quite.
Turn. Are you getting the bounty hunter? Turn around with the golem with the bonds, and that's Ryota dead once again. And how many times have they tried to make a play with his tusk, and it's just not working?
Guys, there's still 4 guys here. A couple of minutes later. Guys, there's still 4 guys here.
And they don't really need to let go of this tempo either, because now you got track up on the bounty. So that, again, is one of those things where, well, the opponent is at a point where they can just 5-man, and they probably should just 5-man. And we're feeding into those. We're just feeding heroes into that.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
This is the problem with these very heavily physical damage focused lineups. You don't have AoE. You don't have like a big teamfight reset button to press like that golem coming in. All you have is the wall. The wall is very reliant on having a big heavy stats based enemy hero to catch in there. Right now, Kushi's not even going to be in half of these fights. In the meantime, your enemy has major pick-off potential.
Battle trans turnaround onto Sweden Strong, who wanted to go for that snipe, and he immediately regrets his decision.
I immediately regret that decision.
Sane also out. The double for control. This time it works around because the tusk wasn't involved. No finger pointing here.
So is that your conclusion?
Yes, that's the conclusion. No finger pointing here.
Or Ryota. He's got such a tough job this game now. You're going to want saves out of him, but on the other hand, if he doesn't have he doesn't engage, then the Slaughter is still the solo form of doing that. And last game, it didn't matter too much if you didn't do anything on your initiators, because eventually the Medusa was going to take over, hopefully. And she was the raid boss in that game. But this time the raid boss is over on the other side. You don't have the magic damage dealers to deal with Munkushi already. Never mind later on. So at some point you're gonna have to go for it on eSpoiled, and I have a hard time finding how that's gonna happen without One Win dropping the ball, because they're holding it again, man. One Win's got the ball again, every time.
Is the reference you're making here the sports class volleyball class? Oh no, it's not volleyball. The what's it called? The when you throw it at somebody and then they're out.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. I was thinking like, I don't know what I was thinking, but Snob probably not feeling too great either, because now Munkushi is bringing in that extra battering ram on top of this troll. That's a crack kill for the TV. So Sweden Strong, he's already queued up the Guardian Greaves. Gonna have that online. That's also gonna reduce the physical damage output on the side of eSpoiled, and it also works as a purge for that corrosive haze.
Dire's top
But every
tower
kill
is under attack.
you take, every step you take, every move you make, you gotta take 2 steps compared to that 1 they take with the track.
Yeah.
Sweden
Strong's gonna be watching you.
One shuriken did almost 50% of Chen's HP pool with that through and through facet. While Kasane gets blown up, and Sweden Strong is like, why did we go here in the first place?
Dire's middle tower
What
is
an
under attack.
awkward place to be sitting. I mean, I guess you feel pretty safe with the vision around you, but you're still downhill on the enemy side of the map. It's rough.
But very important that these pickoffs are going back and forth, because at the same time, it wasn't looking too hot for eSpoiled a couple of minutes back, just losing that troll multiple times, losing the tusk over and over. Difference still has a good game going for himself. Loading up that BKB coming up next. This SSS is going to get jumped on by Waste 2-1 and Difference, and he's got a lot of attack speed, so you're bash locked. Ain't going anywhere.
Glad that Waste is actually getting involved now. Not sit idly by on his bot lane. That was a Dawnbreaker who's already had the Aghanims for a bit. Once again, ready for any serious fights to come in, turn them around. Wonkushi keeps on farming that top side. Yeah, I was wondering when Snov is finally going to switch sides, because One Win has kept a tab on him. There's still a ward all the way back at his base watching him. These invasions into the jungle are constant. Astakor getting followed around here again. One more shuriken.
Squadex at the same time also got jumped on by Difference, forcing out the channel. Keep the channel alive and ensure that this the Slardar isn't going to lose his game. It's 3-0-6 right now, so he's been a part of 90% of eSpoiled's kills. The only one he's missed out on was the first kill eSpoiled got in the lane. So every kill that's happened after has been signatured or signed by Difference.
Sorry, Sweet and Strong just got cliffed. He already TP'd out of it, but he got cliffed by a Wild Wing Ripper.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Radiant are scanning.
Trying to get a cheeky D-sentry in.
I mean, he's been trying to go into this same area over and over again. Now into the mid lane. Squadex gonna get jumped on, but he's dodging most of it. And a beautiful Solar Guardian to connect on both the Slardar and Ryota's Tusk. And there is the kill that they've been hoping to get for a while. The Slardar falls for the first time. And now, Sweet and Strong can bring your buddies for that dewarding mission.
Oh, they're already on it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Immediate. I love the tempo that they're setting here. Just keep going. You're saying like, why are they always in there? Well, because any fight that you take on the enemy side of the map, especially when you don't have towers anymore, like what are they gonna gain off of killing a support or two in their own jungle? Absolutely nothing. You're getting information, 2 of your cores are free farming while 3 heroes are roaming the enemy jungle, and there's just not enough disabled, there's not enough burst on eSpoiled to punish this enough.
And the reason why I'm also highlighting why that was such a good Solar Guardian usage from the Dawnbreaker is, of course, you're coming to save your ally, but it's a Void Spirit. If he uses Dissimulate too early, you cannot cast it on him. So, quick reaction of him looking straight down into mid that something's going down, and just like, press R, and then he disappears while there's a Solar Guardian cast on top, and Snov is a bit of a no man's land for him to get back to his side of the map. Vessel popped on him.
Bounce.
It's a full-on kill, though, because there's a lot of troll illusions running about here. He's gonna live. 300 HP remaining. And they go straight for the Tormentor, seeing that happen. Do they have the time to do it, though? I mean, he's got the Battle Trance. Sure, you can go for it with the Corrosive Haze. It's gonna be a really rapid kill. They've got it. And now Sweet and Strong is trying to get vision, trying to get there in time. Sees 2 people already teleporting away.
Man.
The Solar Guardian is late. Solar Guardian is late.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You're able to get away, burn an ulti, get a Tormentor, save the troll. That's a pretty good sequence for eSpoiled, and steal one of the wisdoms, and teleport away from SSS. So multiple little victories combined together.
Yeah, really good. I mean, the fact that the troll gets caught there on his way to the rest of his team, and that Darkseer is eager to fight. He's just finished off the Crimson Guard. Even if Wonkushi shows up, that's a big detriment to his damage. Instead, One Win misses out on the troll kill and is now walking after the facts. They do not have a Metamorph currently. They don't have anybody who can reach the pit in time, in fact.
Ryota's already popping smokes in the front, so Sweet and Strong will only see the Tusk, but the Aegis is already picked up. They're trying to fight versus the Tusk, but at the same time, Waste is trying to get in position for the back wall. However, they are isolating him, Sweet and Strong. He's keeping him out. But they got the Aegis, and with all those little wins compiled together, I think they're pretty happy to give away a Tusk for that. He bought the time. Difference spotted in the river under vision. See where he's going. Meanwhile, the entire team of eSpoiled is blind on this top half of the map.
if you invade in numbers.
Dire's middle tower
Put some of those D-wards. There's so many sentries all over the place.
is under attack.
Sure is, sure is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentries on the map right now for eSpoiled. Also
Difference
6 placed
found.
down by 1 win.
It is really the vision battle. Squadix, interestingly enough, not straight into the Aghanim Scepter. Instead, close to finishing off the Manta style currently.
Yeah, I was looking at Squadix's build, because the regular build normally would be Axe Rush ASAP. Because he wanted the vessel to have the chance to battle versus the troll before he had the Manta up. It took a while for him to finish it, but at least they were able to use it a couple of times. Unfortunately, not for kills, just poke. And then the Manta, so that you would have your tools to 1, break the root and get your spells off, 2, remove the corrosive haze. Most importantly, against the troll root.
Yes.
It does mess up his fervor stacks if he suddenly changes to Manta Illusion instead of the main hero.
No, another point here is that I don't think you get too much out of the Ags in this game unless you're really aiming for the backlines. You want to stop a save from the Tusk or from the Chen.
Dire's
Everybody else has got a
turret
purge.
been killed.
Guardian Greaves are up. Manta style is up. BKB flies in about 400 gold. So you're not getting anything done on the cores with that item either.
Radiant structures.
One win gonna have to play from behind on this one. Wait for Mukushi to get online with this Terror Blade. Only 1 ultimate orb's worth of money.
Radiant's bottom
Oh,
tower
he just switched
eSpoiled,
out.
Dire's top
eSpoiled
tower
charging
is
straight
under
up. Okay, he's going for the MKB, sure.
Bottom tower is under
Recognizing he's gonna need that little extra bit of damage with the troll always getting on top of him.
Dealing with a mischance from the Whirling Axes.
Have to deal with this high ground push too, because Snov is going at it. Just let this
Really
lane
enjoyed
go.
this from eSpoiled.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Just assesses pinging. I really want to defend this, guys. They're already working their way through the melee racks. Mukushi is finally done with the top tier 2 tower, so they've traded a tier 2, a tier 3, a melee racks for a tier 2 in top.
Has been killed.
And of course the mid lane pushed in. Squadix was able to get another tier 2 tower. But a full lane of racks cleaned by eSpoiled without a response from 1 win. Fun
What
fact
up?
is, they took a lane of racks and net worth hasn't changed anywhere.
In fact, net worth ticked slightly.
Upwards. Yeah.
Oh, this is what happens when you
one
hold hands
instruction.
with all 5 heroes. Now, the worst you can do as a team in the defending position there is not be clear about whether you're defending or not. Just have a couple of heroes sit in base, but not defend either. So this choice, immediate hard choice, like, hey, we're gonna let this go and let's say do something incredibly egregious, and we gotta punish them for it, is the much better choice. But this is what I wanted to see from Snub. This is what I would have liked to see from that Medusa in the previous game. Be big, be in front, dare the enemy team to engage into you. Of course, this game they got the opportunity to actually take a Roshan, which was much harder last time around.
Sweet and strong found. Will be a pick for eSpoiled as soon as they finish off the bounty. Yeah, I do think maybe the issue that they had in that previous game was the fact that their Waste 21 Slardar was completely loaded. While Medusa, like, I think at 30-minute mark, Medusa was at like 20,000 net worth, Slardar was at 10. And he was like 5,000 gold behind the next core. So that probably gave a,
it was
bit
sad.
of a warning sign that Medusa's strong, but I'm kind of alone here, guys.
And difference this time is also carrying around a gem now. So that
Radiant are
better vision game that 1 win has been having so far might just be taken away from them if Difference finds himself in the right locations.
Yeah, good time to have the gem again. Around the 25-minute mark, before the half an hour. Secure that side of your map. Keep the enemy blind, keep them guessing.
Mokushi's getting big though. He is now pulling away from the troll who's been holding hands, who's been pushing. This Terrorblade inching forward towards that level 20. Extra conjure image duration. It's got the MKB now. And they are smoked up. Ready to try and see if they've got what it takes.
He's got the damage output now with that MKB, and because he's so far ahead also in levels, he's got 2,500 HP to work with. Waste 21's going to walk straight into this little assault. SSS to follow up on it. Waste 21 to drop first. Chen going to get bullied here by Squadix and Sweden Strong. So that's 2 track kills and a T1 tower, the last one remaining of this bottom lane.
Completely unafraid.
Busy to cut the waves down bottom right away, and this is what your Tusk is supposed to be doing, right? Like, of course it is super creeps pushing the wave, but get out there ASAP, prevent any further objectives from losing. Though there is the mid lane pushed out quite deep in, and actually even snipes Sweden Strong's courier, so that means no Guardian Greaves for the Bounty Hunter for the next 2 minutes.
That means that
did go for the Maelstrom on top of the Battle Fury, thank you, Observer.
Yep,
now
necessary just for the matchup. No, the Maelstrom's not a farming item. It's just for the
yes,
TP.
It is. Yes, it is. It's 2 farming items in his inventory. I will die on this hill. All right, but it will work. It will work this game. It will find its place. There's no pipe either on the Radiant side, so it will go in through full effect. And Munkushi also swapped the Daedalus to a Revenant's Brooch. So what we talked in the draft wasn't also completely off. Though
pretty incredible.
It was a Clinks I was talking about.
Yes.
I'll admit that much.
No, really making sure that his team's going to have the damage and really leaning on his natural armor to make it through these fights here. He is correct that this is a very good Terrorblade game.
I do want to point out maybe a little question for you here as how do you enjoy a game like this playing Warlock? There's nothing really happening, and any Lich Warlock type hero. Okay, Lich at least is interesting because you can today be a Blink Initiator. But this Warlock is just chilling, vibing, following his guys around, and sitting in base like half of the match. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that really depends on what kind of a support player you are, right? Because if you are the kind of support player that wants to lead by example and wants to do things, then yeah, this is garbage. But on the other hand,
like,
if you want to...
Like Toby and TI?
Yeah.
Warlock in the front line, what is he? Where is he again?
Some solo style positioning, perhaps. No, but if you actually just want to talk macro game, you really want to take your time to make sure everybody's in the right place, then the fact that you are not needed to press buttons every half a second is pretty useful. I think Kasane strikes me as the first type of player, though. So maybe he is stifling and yawn here and there.
Yeah, maybe he is. Like, I remember we had an interview with him back in the NADPC, and me and Snare still remember that interview as he didn't have much to say. Probably the language barrier, because it was also a pretty young player back then, but also didn't really strike as the guy who's like super excited about things. He's just, you know, he's just doing his own thing and can't really share his ideas. But I guess in his mother tongue he might be a bit different. It's hard to say.
Yeah, that's what it's that whole you have no idea how smart I am in Spanish. It's true. You don't know how smart somebody is in their native language.
You see Squadix.
They've got the high
but
ground
this is a
already.
minefield. You do not trespass here with these
No?
8th Remnant shard units rolling around. We will take the
A long
detour
way
and
around.
go about. They're keeping
don't
tabs
have
on
high
him.
ground
Chen is
anymore.
making sure they show where he is. Troll has already popped and Munkushi's going to get targeted. They go straight for the Terrorblade. SSS coming up with the Solar Guardian. They're going to collapse on top with 3 heroes. They've already lost Ryota coming up with the instant buyback. Troll going to go for the chase onto Munkushi on the left side of the fight. The rest of the people spreading into the river, but the TV gets the Sunder up. The Lotus is too late, and Troll gets his ulti, but it's stunned up. It's only going to last for a couple more seconds. TV still standing his ground, but Stomp will be stronger this time around. Squadix won't get in time for the silence. They got the Troll, but there's still 4 heroes versus 3. Now it's a 3v3. Sweden Strong and the boys, the bonds are doing work. Ryota will drop for a second time. Gen's TP cancelled, and Squadix with Sweden Strong and Kasane. 3 guys stood their ground, and 3 guys remained in the battlefield.
So much damage done by that TB in the fight. Really, the fact that they need to chase him down with all cores and they can't do anything versus the rest of the side of one win, and they need to spend so much time. You could say the same thing the other way around, right? If the troll gets jumped, then he is the one that you're wasting all your damage on, but this time it was the TV, and that means that Squadish just gets to clean up.
Yep, you got a whole
that's a
burger
TV without
stand,
defensive
you know,
items.
3 guys, burger
I mean,
and fries.
he's got an Hurricane
basically,
Pike, he's got a Manta style.
With these
There's
lads.
no BKB, no Scotty.
Is under attack.
Nope. Just straight up, honest, battling it out.
And it took him that long. That's painful.
There were 2 things that I picked up. First, the Sunder into the Lotus, because I know if you Sunder an anti-mage with counterspell on, it has no effect. So Sunder works as it would normally do. With the Lotus Orb coming in late, it didn't come into effect, because that would have counteracted the interaction, weird as it is.
It would have.
And then Squadix jumping in like half a second too late with the Resonant Pulse Silence, because that could have just removed the troll. Talking about round number 2, though, we're going to be fighting again, and they find the bounty first, and on the follow-up, there's the Silence onto the Slardar. Difference is BKB burnt, and he's already out. 700 HP remaining. Haste Rune will be saved for him. They will reset and get away, but this might just be a Roshan win, because Sweden Strong buys back, and they know the importance of this Roshan, the Aegis, to be secured for 1 win. Slardar has to go all the way back to base with that Haste Rune. He's got the mobility. He's going to be able to teleport back in, and maybe in time for Roche, because Roche is roaring in his pit. So the disarm, the disarm and the debuffs. We'll have to force them back for a bit.
Still BKB on that troll as well. And that means that Metamorphosis is now going to...
Kasane, hello? Level thinking.
Hey, listen, he wants to have something to do.
Definitely does. Aegis has already picked up though, goes for the troll, and this fight's already over. eSpoiled on the charge. Darkseer gonna get caught by the first Hypnotize. Void chased by the Slardar Bash. Follow up the connections here. He's assimilated. 1 second for the Astral Step, and they're all stunned by a Solar Guardian! Deletion is happening! Snob gets his ulti off though, and SSS is burned down. And that troll ulti is still up and running. SSS gone. And they'll keep on their charge into another Remnant. Snob will find Kasane. Kushi's got no Demon Seal, no Metamorph, nothing to fight with. eSpoiled still, despite soaking up a very, very dangerous moment of a 4-man Solar Guardian Fatal Bonds combo. Unfortunate for TB, his spells were already out.
Exactly. I'm a little confused why they were hovering as if they wanted to take that fight without having the TV Metamorph up. This is not the time in the game where just a Demon Seal is going to do the work for you. Listen, impressive damage though from that Fatal Bonds, I have to say.
Just talks how much that Dawnbreaker also can do in a 1 quick burst. You've got the AC in your inventory. You do a heck of amount of damage with 1 swing of your Starbreaker, and not to talk about 3 onto 4 heroes.
Especially when they're all sitting on top of each other, right? Like that. We are talking about triple melee cores here.
But it was a good read from eSpoiled to just press the advantage straight from that Roshan pit and keep on going onward, knowing that Metamorph is already down on the Terrorblade. There was no damage to respond with outside of that Dawn burst. Going for the Tormentor down bottom. Snov is already at work. That's a shard for the Tusk.
Easy.
That means they all 5 have a shard now, so if they were to take the next Tormentor at sub 47 minutes, that would just be straight up money.
Right now,
Their
everybody...
scan connects on Sweden Strong. Bounty's in a very dangerous place. Astakor finds a bounty hunter, casually farming, and suddenly you've got 4 heroes on top of you. giving the same treatment Ryota was getting in the early game.
Yeah. A lot of information though. Everybody was going back in order to reset their lanes, but that really allows you to take a couple of extra waves here on the bot side. Trying to wait out another Aegis if you are one win. Shu's really on the other foot this game. Snob already shoving in that top wave. And now, yeah, since your bounty hunter got found, there's nobody behind to cut this wave anymore either. No shenanigans, just straight up creeps and a troll.
Yeah, what's Kasane
on
gonna do?
your
You know,
tier
wave
3.
his Avada Kedavra at them? You only need to have to kill like one creep. So Snob's gonna lead the charge all the way to the high ground. Work on this top lane. Get themselves a second lane of racks if they can possibly get it. 20 seconds for bounty to spawn, and that mid tier 2 is then the only thing stopping them from picking up mega creeps. Roshan banner down.
So Munkushi needs to interfere here. He's the only one who can stop it.
Seal is also already out for him. He's stuck inside that Tusk's improved shard. Going straight for the troll, trying to burn him down. Age is still up, 1400 HP too. Keep the melee racks up.
Painful to have to pop the Metamorph there. Now all you do on eSpoiled is wait it out. Come back in as soon as you know it's down. Take that last outer tower and yeah, why not walk at the base at that point? You've seen on the first ranks that they have no tools to chip you down from a distance. No range engage, all they can do is step in with Squadix. Risk his life. Pop the Metamorph on Munkushi.
Yeah, I think he's really gonna need that plus 30 seconds Metamorph talent at 25. He's already 23.5. So he's not that far off of it.
No, and that might be why he is running out of his base to kill as many creeps as possible right now, because what else can you do? The troll's at your door again. His team's not even behind him, he doesn't care. You can't touch him.
Just TPing back home.
Build up those fervor stacks.
Get ready to work. Swadex going for the quick initiation. Troll still would like to focus on the push, but the Aegis runs out. And that's a signal to back out. They're all back home. No need to unnecessarily throw away lives for a melee Rax, knowing how fast one win can also push back the other direction. But they will bring the wave at least to that tier 2 tower. We'll see if they are willing to siege it. She
More seconds
following
for
up
meta.
on Squadix. Again, early Lotuses. Protecting the troll, 4-step to safety. Good spell usage here from eSpoiled, especially from Ryota, who's been playing a hell of a tusk despite this game started off hard. And he's been making up for it.
Absolutely. He's had such a tough time on that top lane.
Are scanning.
Still a
now-
1k net worth lead, but the Gaben graph is telling a different story about win probability for this Radiant lineup, and I think we also agree 27 to 73%. eSpoiled could stretch it to game 3 at this pace. Really comes down to the team fight, because either one seems to be able to win them.
Really comes down to the Terrorblade for me. If he lives, that's it. It's a game. And he's very
big
close to
bad
finishing
TV.
off the Satanic right now. Yeah. That's going to make it near impossible to bring him down.
It looks like he wants to save up another 3,000 gold to be able to buy it, though. Ags up on Slardar. Seaborn Sentinel is now active. We'll get extra status resistance against the small bits of crowd control. Also gets rid of the Fatal Bonds faster with it.
It's great siege tech. But they've already run out of towers, and Snob just tipped over into the level 25, so he's got the strong Dispel on the Battle Trance. Saving himself out of situations like the Dawnbreaker stun that's been plaguing him. And the smoke. Surely this one is just for dewarding.
Are croakers considered ancients? I'm just thinking that now that you have Slardar, you could definitely use the Riverborn aura for your advantage. Chen at least is able to pick them up. I was just looking at the Dominator on the Darkseer. Can you get two of them, or are you just going to go with one? I mean, Aztekor with the Shard is able to get them at least. I think that's what he's also hoping to find, is probably one of them. I mean, he's running straight to a Croaker camp. Please snatch one of them. He's got double golems. Nope, he's not picking it up. I mean, I think this is the hidden pocket strat would literally be Slardar and the Riverborn aura from a Croaker, a Marsh Mage. I mean, 14% outgoing damage on your troll. You would take that.
You would absolutely take that. Let's bring it then. The troll has a refresher.
Nope, they're not interested in the Croakers. Not even the ancient Croakers. Mini Ravage is also not a bad spell. 300 range, 1.4 second stun in AoE.
A lot of micro work to get that. Working in the fight so Snov. Checking the pit. Oh! There he is.
Approaches home. And this is also what One Win is going to fight for. Satanic is bought out on the TV. He's got his buyback up. Squadix going for the quick information. Snov tracked up. Nice jump from Difference. Goes straight in. The back wall into the back line. But they are not getting the damage required as SSS is healing them up. Has a refresher for another ulti. And Munkushi needs to get away from this troll. They're just going straight at him. And during the Walrus Punch, they'll knock out the Terrorblade. The big source of damage is gone. The fight's over for One Win. And eSpoiled find a clean sweep on this. Nice TP out there from Kasane. Won't be able to find the Warlock, but eSpoiled probably just gonna force out the TV buyback from now.
Beautiful jump. And that damage is overwhelming. Look at it. And if this TV buys back, he doesn't have Metamorph. What are you doing it for?
Demon Zeal.
Yeah, Demon Zeal.
Right away. Sometimes it's even stronger than the Metamorph, but he didn't get to do anything. The fun thing about Tusk, you get one of the best late game abilities at level 10, which is the Walrus Punch stun duration increased by almost a second. So that's a 2-second stun that you can follow up instantly from your snowball. And during that time, the TP died. 3,400 HP gone, no Satanic, no Sunder, nothing.
And you can't help but wonder what happens if you don't get that punch off. The TB gets to make his stand there.
I mean, that was such good approaching in that team fight as well. They spotted the TB. Ryota and Snob instantly went for him.
No hesitation
They don't even think twice. They went straight at the Terrorblade. Squadix. Not a lot he can do. He doesn't even have a vessel charge on him right now. They haven't been able to kill eSpoiled heroes for a while. And the Aegis with its contents is picked up. Waste 21. Nice back there. Catches Kasane, but they couldn't quite get to the Warlock. He hasn't got a Golem available. One Win will just have to concede this fight. Aztekor, maybe they could have got a jump, but Difference is nearby. 500 movement speed, Slardar.
You're never catching him. And I can't help but feel like Squadix has had such a hard time contributing to the game. The previous fight there as well, partially made possible by the fact that he spends both of his steps getting out of harm's way. And after that has nothing more to offer to the fight.
And he's 2-1-12. He's only died once on this Void. His contributions also mimic that. Trying to hit the back line, trying to get the interrupt there onto Difference first, and maybe delete the Tusk, the big problem maker here. They're going for the Chen. Chen still got his ulti, he'll get it out. Munkushi now being targeted from all directions. Satanic is up, Force Staff comes into play, gets the Sunder up. He sacrifices his ally, he will go down too. And that's GG. We are going to the game number 3, as eSpoiled will take us the full distance.
What a almost like looking into a mirror from that first game.
Who made the difference?
Oh, he sure did. Really throw its weight around early if it wants to. So let's see if they can just simply bring more guys to every single fight, because that seems to be the MO here.
Prepare for battle.
Just like in the previous game, right? Bring 4 heroes wherever the Tusk is going to be. Seems to work out just fine. To stall out the game.
We might want to keep an eye on the wards that get placed on that top lane, because I'm starting to see a pattern with the warding that that one win does on the enemy safe lane. Pretty insistent on taking exactly those areas.
One game to decide the fates. Who gets to play another BO5 versus Runa team. That game is also scheduled to start in 50 minutes, so there's not going to be a royal break. It's gonna be there's going to be a break between the series.
30 seconds to battle.
But chop, guys. The break timer is ticking down. The faster you win, the longer you break. Come on. This is not the way.
And let's pause it up.
Settings. What do you mean settings?
Yeah, we had there was a funny call in one of the heroic games in TI, where they're calling for a break, and the reason of the break was called keys. And obviously, if you in English automatically think about like key bindings, that's what he means. But when he says keys, as a Finnish meme revolving around, I don't have my keys. Where there's a guy just on the side park, like sitting in his car. He's got his pants down and everything, and some random bypasser just walks around with a camera and just checks in, and the guy's got no pants on, and he's like, I don't have any keys. And then the guy's like, okay, good day.
What?
Yeah, Finnish internet memes on a different level.
God. I am never going to integrate into this country, man.
Yeah, but it's just the moment of sheer confusion, and the first thing that comes into your mind is like, I can't start my car because I don't have my keys.
And I'm imagining him checking, like as if he's sticking his hands into his pocket, just checking the top of his thighs and finding that he has no keys there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But the story is a bit different than that. 2-2 on the bounties and get this game underway. Settings have been fixed. Ready to roll out the final decisive match. One team is going to have to face the sour end. Runa team is in an interesting situation, right? Outside of this series, because they're waiting in the grand finals to play against either one of these two. They are also waiting in the grand finals for the Fisher Playground Eastern European qualifier. They will be playing versus Liga there. That game's scheduled to be played in 2 days because they cannot play it today as it's literally overlapping. So with some schedule changes, they're able to play that one. And also doing their run in yet another qualifier, you know, the 3 tournaments that are running on top of each other's. And then, of course, the PGL Wallachia qualifiers are also beginning. So add a 4th into the mix if 3 wasn't already enough.
What do you mean? I still have time to sleep. We could fit more Dota in here. Cowards.
Right. Yeah, everyone's happy.
So watching. Both of these offlaners, by the way, I don't expect either of these offlanes to want to fight the creep wave in a regular place. You don't want to be fighting Elder Titan Medusa with a double melee lane straight up. That doesn't seem like a good time. And the same point also has already been made, I think, about Beastmaster, where if you give Gyrocopter the opportunity to constantly flack him and his boar down, you're not going to have a good time.
Got Gyro at least starting off with a ton of denies. Begin this laning stage. Beastmaster sitting at a clean 0. He'll get his first 4 as he's got the wave now between the tier 1 and tier 2. And just knowing how rough that matchup is versus a Gyrocopter in general. I also remember, like, when I used to play a lot of Enigma, the heroes I was scared about in lane were TA and Gyrocopter and Troll. Troll because he always slows you and just is basically a nuisance. TA who cleans up your Dolans. if you don't split them, and Gyrocopter, who will always clean your golems even if you split them. So this hero definitely poses a threat to many matchups.
Even if they run away, even if you put them in the trees.
Always finds a way to
Set up here on Sign. The Bane gets a rocket to the face.
Could just be a
Very
lane
standard.
where you just don't put any points into Rocket Barrage and just go full-on flat cannon homing missile.
I think so as well. It's one of the Gyrocopter loves that, right? A reason for the flat cannon, which he'd already want to take just for farming reasons. Like, cool, this is actually also just the thing that's going to take the Beastmaster's most annoying laning ability away from him. Step 4. Win-win. I'm flacking it up.
Fighting for the Lotus Pool in the top lane. SSS will be the one to pick it up as Aztecor zoning out the Tiny. Want to pick up as many Lotuses as you can. One key objective for eSpoiled as you're playing a Medusa lineup.
We'll see them focus that the entire time. And then, well, last but not least, we have this mid lane where, to I think nobody's surprise, nothing much has been happening.
Nope. Not even expected to see anything happen here. Quap deciding to skip Blink too. Maybe a level 5, you get that 1 point, but it really is down to, are we ganking a lane? Or am I just going to put more points into my Q and my E? And just skip Blink completely, wait for maybe level 7 for the rotation as Aztecor. He soaked up the full burst from this Tiny, and he's 30 movement speed faster, despite them both having wind laces. At least he finds a ward on his way out.
The warding action already started. Yeah, I agree that the Quap really has nothing to fear until the rotations come in. And right now, both of these side lanes are pretty well occupied. Free time 10 denies on him as well.
Fun fact,
Kushi
Beast
into
has
tower,
almost
here's the TP.
Yep.
Look at the damage.
battling it out. Munkushi just too deep into the lane. Instant response. Really good play there from eSpoiled, bringing in the third hero, Aztecor. Secure kill. Medusa's completely fine playing solo versus this SSS Dawnbreaker, not posing a threat.
Triple S does not have the mana for his combo unless he pops that magic wand. Snub's never even needing to let him get that close, so easy rotation.
Alright, Quap did put a point into Blink, so we might expect a Sonic Wave rotation into either of these lanes, not just fully sitting AFK farm versus the DK. You know you're still gonna have to face DK Dragon form on the next level. So no matter how much harass you're gonna do, he's probably still gonna have DK syndrome and just bash his head on that tower until it falls. However, sweet and strong.
You would rather bring him down.
Rotation right back, and he tried to get in position for the toss, not to send a catapult or anything else accidentally. Ended up having no mana, got hit for the DK stun, and Ryota battling it out here. Will not survive. Will only buy a bit of time for the difference. Loading up on Mangoes. 5 seconds for the rune to spawn. Both runes are covered. Aztecor also shows up. And it's in bottom. Squadix will get the 50-50 despite the Elder Titan coming in for the rescue.
I don't think the Invis is enough reason to leave the lane, especially not, as you said, because that DK is immediately going to take your tower. As a Quap, you are plenty fine trading farm and waiting for an opportunity here, perhaps, as your supports hover around here, see if you can kill the DK when he inevitably makes his move.
I think we're going to be fighting for the 7-minute wisdom down in the bottom lane, because if Squadix just gets one more creep,
or are we getting Aztecor?
I think we're right. Yeah, we're running straight back in. We're running straight back into mid, and that's a toss on the spawn. He will not get sent to Squadix. He just hit level 6, and there's the SSS Solar Guardian on top.
But Goomba stomped nonetheless.
And Dawnbreaker will be blessed with a double kill.
That's how you want to handle the dragon form.
Rob Bane wins the wisdom fight by pressing.
Dire's middle tower
Wow.
is under attack.
The
Wow.
lesson for you. is never tried.
So simple.
Next time.
Double
It's
distance.
been-
Traded the double for lost XP.
Bane is, I want to say, like, Bane is pretty much the opposite of a warlock. That's where you have the agency, you really need to do things, you really need to be in the right place.
On bottom though, left to be in the right place. Roar onto the gyro,
Physical.
tanking the tower, has a Lotus. But he's to attack, and Ryota also just takes away his final chances of survival. Sane won't get anything done here either. Jakiro under the tower. Ryota will continue to chase the Tiny, waving his arm like, hello, where do you think you're going? They can just wait it out.
Stomp.
He's got an Avalanche. Here's the mana for the toss. Has Avalanche ready right now. Ryota, I think he needs a hit and a Brain Sap, but he's gonna go for the Nightmare. Stomp will clean him up. Long chase, but they got the job done. That's 3 kills for eSpoiled. Kasana is just gonna have to go for a bit of a walk with this Bane.
And his Elder Titan has been doing work. Armor reduction, I think, versus the Gyrocopter, for example. Very hard to...
So the Gyro's also coming here. Ryota looking for the deny.
Yeah.
Oh, he got it Kasane. Too late.
Sad.
Ah, he got away with it too. That stings.
And hey, we were talking about what the lanes going well would mean for both teams.
All I heard was
But right now, this Beastmaster coming out over the top of the Gyrocopter, and pretty big time too. It's not just a small gap.
Oh no, DK kind of alone here. Getting the setup here onto that Dragon Knight difference. Will only get that free fire out. Elder Titan will soak up that Sonic Wave, slowed up by so many different sources. Got the dual threat. Got a Shadow Strike.
Dire's middle tower
An
is
Avalanche
under
on the top of you. They'll open up the mid tower
Dire's
at
middle
9
tower
minutes.
has fallen.
And again,
Beautiful.
this truly is Squadix, the Quap win condition. Game being set up for him. He didn't have the shiniest laning stage because it was against the DK who denied quite a lot of those creeps waiting for the Quap.
Oh,
Making up for it now.
pushy.
And bottom lane Mukushi is going down. Waste with the
This is
roar and
why-
that's the core with a follow.
This is why I was talking about how far ahead the Beastmaster already is. Like, listen, you gotta admire the decisions that are being made by one winner because they're very well aware that this storm is coming. The Beastmaster's too big now, he's got the Overlord, he's going to be making this bot lane his kingdom. Can't do anything about that. And instead of trying to compensate for that and bring in support for the Dawnbreaker into a lane that has already been lost and trying to stabilize, instead they're saying, no, we know our game plan. It's built around this Queen of Pain. It's built around the Dawnbreaker coming in. Munkushi, you're just going to have to be,
Is under attack.
well, basically play the Matumba Man role in this game. The other cores have better things to do than help you out. You just scrape whatever farm you can, and your time will come later, later, later.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Mukushi brought his own wards and he knows the Bane is around. And Kasane is making his way here. The Bane has just been soaking up experience away from the Gyro. Oh, he's gonna get cliffed by the sleep walk. Yes, he is. No, and he misses the ice, but don't let him deny himself again. Don't let it happen.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Because
attack.
that 2 denies back to back on the same people would have been
Dire's top tower is
pain.
under attack.
That would have been sad. Luckily instead,
Considering Gyro is also last in network, which is a situation you don't run into too often.
nope. But that's as I said. They had the chance to stabilize him, and they very firmly said no one won win. And I really enjoy that choice because that means you've now taken top tower by bringing these two cores together. This is going to be such a fast Aghanim Scepter on Triple S.
Yep, and Mukushi again, like you might be shut down, but now you got the chance to free farm because Quap and Dawnbreaker will be taking over the map. They're having a good game going. Bane is still level 5, so the only hero alongside Tiny who do not have their ults, and Bane ult is probably a lot bigger than the Tiny 6. Probably.
Yep. Yeah, the only problem here is that Waste is going to be building a pipe. No selfishness here, no interest in even initiating here. He just wants to shut down that snowball happening from the other side right now, and the pipe is going to make a big dent into the damage impact of that Quap, of the Jakiro.
They have your
A lot of that burst damage is linked to magical. On the Radiant side. Snov leading net worth on Medusa, closing up on a Manta recipe and only 400 gold. 131 last hits in 12 minutes. Has had a long laning stage until that tower fell.
Easy game as well. So even though this looks good for Squad X and Triple S, there is a possibility that this was still not good enough. Got to keep up that tempo.
I'll have double ags up soon on Radiant.
Yeah. Gotta keep
One
going,
is for
but
farming,
they haven't.
one's for intervening. Hopefully not intervening with the farming. Ukushi
with
would
the
like some
enemy
time
farming.
off. He's called in sick
Yes.
for work. Like I need to stay away for a while.
Most importantly, they haven't managed to make any of these aggressive wards stick just yet. So both the co-op, this is something worth mentioning, the co-op has an obs as well. Trying to make sure that they can get a foothold in this top side of the map right now. Exactly where Difference is farming right now, that's where they'd like to have the vision. That's where every single game now, especially on Radiant, yeah, this ward. Watch him, he's going to be alone, the rest of the team is going to be playing on bot. Unless you kill him too slowly and he manages to get to his tower, you can kill them repeatedly here if you want to.
They found Ryota. On a dewarding mission. Quick TP top. Looks like we're going to see an engagement happen here. Difference with the blink stun onto the level 5 Tiny. 14 minutes in. Will not have the chance to get his ulti up just quite yet. But Squad X and SSS have other plans in their mind. They want to focus down this DK maybe, but the grip is already onto the Dawn and the Earth Splitter. Will smack him. Make it a double for Difference. Squad X is going to have to pull out. Will not drop the Sonic Wave. Wait for a better opportunity to use it. That DK was not going to die to it.
I'm surprised they took that. They're Tiny already dead.
Radiant's middle tower
I think the only way you save him there is if you drop the Sonic Wave, perhaps. But certainly bringing the Dawnbreaker, you simply don't have the firepower to chew through that DK.
Do a decent amount of magical on that hero, but all those right clicks are just getting shrugged off. Already at 19 armor. That Sonic Wave is only 350 damage, and he was sitting at 1,000, so they still needed quite a lot to fill in there. Pipe is now ready for the Beast, and eSpoiled looks like they can now start moving up. One win are not ready for that yet.
They are not. Beastmaster. Arcanes. Wonder if he's going to go in the Ags after. I presume he will. I get that.
On who? On the Beast?
The Beast, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he goes with Blink. Because usually when you want that Helm of the Overlord, it's because of the timing that it gives. Probably not necessary to go all the way for that. You could also get you can get a Vlads for your Medusa. Not a bad idea.
No, and actually, of course, with the Arcanes, you don't have any attack speed. You don't want to go into the Axe build with that. Thinking of the old Axe spam.
Yeah,
Every once in a while, my brain reminds me that I'm old.
No worries. I mean, how I see this game right now is the damage source is DK and Medusa. You're playing towards the late game, so what you're getting is masses of auras, different utility items. You could even, I mean, he's going for mana boots. If you went for tranquils, you could have gone boots of bearing, buff up the Medusa DK more in their attack speed department.
Now it might be Greaves instead.
Yep, could be Greaves. That's also a good choice versus the Gyro, extra armor. We'll have to wait and see what his final build's going to be. Dawnbreaker is already queuing up the Shard and the Refresher after that Agonyms. That means we're going to see a no BKB Dawnbreaker.
Dire are scanning.
So that is something different from the original Dawnbreaker offlane build.
Really all in on Well, even the possibility perhaps later on with the buyback as we've seen. Which is, it's very all in.
Dire are scared.
Squad is meanwhile working on the Aghanim Scepter. At least they're going to have most of these big items at the ready before the Medusa is actually going to come storming up their high ground, but it's going to be a little close. That butterfly already more than halfway finished, and
Yeah,
once
it's
she's
gonna
got
be a
that,
pretty sick timing on that butterfly, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
just short with the talisman, and with all the items the team has been building around these cores. Well, talking about initiation on difference, but Aztecor gets the stomp on too, so there goes your initiation on the Solar Guardian. And this, I think I'm starting to see a really big difference here in this game 3 compared to all of the games where Dawnbreaker has been present for SSS. Because when they use Solar Guardian, they've always gotten a kill, or 2, or 3, or maybe even 4. And now we have seen Solar Guardian used over and over again to no result. eSpoiled 4,000 gold ahead, building already towards the late game, and they're not losing heroes at this stage.
no, they're
And
not using
Gyrocopter
aggressive
is
wards.
in a massive hurry to get that item build working, because he's only now caught up to the top end of all the other cores, yet still 3,000 gold behind the Medusa. This is not looking good for one win.
It's not. And if you're the Medusa, you don't even necessarily have to wait for the Skadi here anymore. You can. But on the other hand, you do have the pipe over on your Beastmaster. He's going to go in for a Crimson Guard after. You can already make your way towards this fight when they start breaking out, and she is making her way over right now.
They kind of revealed their ward spot there with that roar onto Mukushi from the Sleepwalk, or from the Nightmare, as they just instantly backed away as they saw teleports coming in. So that's an easy D ward for Kasane. I feel like this ward spot hasn't been checked as often as you'd like, but they're gonna go for round number 2, and Gyrocopter soaks up the Earth Splitter. Difference slices that sword through that machine. They even forced out a glyph as they were diving, so that glyph is now down, and they can take a tier 2 tower in sequence.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Man, oh man, is this the worst time for one win to start choking in this tournament? Because those small minor faults can be forgiven because they swept all their series, but this game 3 is by far it's starting to look like their first opening series in the upper bracket, which they lost. eSpoiled, however, a qualifier team about to head over to the grand finals. If this pace keeps on going, they are looking good. They're looking really good. They are composed, they are working together, they are feeling confident, and they have a full momentum swing under their wings.
It's looking really smooth. The way that they've been either dodging or reacting to all of these incursions by very scary ganking lineup has been... They don't look shaken whatsoever. They react to everything pretty calmly. And at the very least, one win has been able to now scrape together the Aghanims on the Quap as well. So they've got the items to, and I can't believe I'm saying this in like 20 minutes, but they've got items to hold high ground with. That's where we're at currently. Tiny also finally scraped together a blink. That one was also really late, something like 18 minutes. Haven't seen any toss back plays from him yet.
No impact.
Radiant are scared.
Maybe now's the time to turn that tide. Quap has been waiting for that blink with an Ags and a Kaya in her inventory. SSS is ready to follow with the jump. That refresher is one component in. So they gotta win this next fight. 21-minute wisdom is already being checked by Waste, but looks like he might just be giving this one away. He's got the board getting vision. And they're warding it, they're TPing, and they're ready for this. They're reading this completely. They know what's up. Sweet and Strong will be left alone for the steal. And he just blinks out. They're gonna find that nobody's there. Can they get out? Jakiro TP out, Tiny TPing out. Difference will find one. Asane gets out, the rest of them will get away.
And that is the first time I think that we've ever seen one win have to back out, but also back out at that moment.
Yeah.
Correct read?
Correct read.
Not-
It does
not
feel like if they
enough.
can find a pick off. Oh, they found the other support too. Pull in the Jakiro. Good work of that, and that's Roshan. Which they also cannot fight on the side of 1 win. So both supports down. Not strong enough. 7,000 gold behind. Just don't have the capacity to battle this one out.
You don't. You're up first in Elder Titan. Maybe if your Jakiro was up, you had the ability to at least force him out of the pit for a bit, but ultimately the vision and the area control around here are absolutely the domain of Aztekor.
Dire's middle tower is under
I
attack.
mean, it sucks because the Gyrocopter was a reason he was positioned so far forward. He has a fresh BKB.
Oh, they
We're
found the
looking
Quap.
to-
Ryota's ready
No
for the
way.
Fiend script, just hasted, runs straight to the Queen of Pain, but he's losing vision because of the only tree in the entire bloody desert. Squadix will get really lucky with that one.
Every
I
little
don't
detail
think
counts.
even he saw that one coming, that he's actually getting away.
He was dead to rights.
I mean, he was enfeebled and everything. That's reducing your cast range by 50%. And she's still getting out of that one.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So,
But now, here comes something you can't run away from. Medusa, 23 minutes, Manta Style, Butterfly, Eye of Skadi.
holy.
Radiant's
It's
top tower
like an
has
unstoppable force. How on earth
She's
do you
gonna
win
hit
this
level
fight?
20.
You gotta kill everything
Radiant's
else,
top
leave the
tower
Medusa
is under
alive, and
attack.
maybe retreat. Call it a day. Man, they don't see anybody. They
said
are
than done.
completely
I mean, I'm
blind. They only know
always talking about
someone's
how
in the
you need to
trees,
work
but
around the
where in
Medusa.
the trees are you? That
Is
ET
under
courier
attack.
almost revealed, and Munkushi was that close to breaking that smoke off of difference.
Radiant's top
And this
tower
is
Such a bad target.
Such a good position as well from eSpoiled, and now they're so close. Sweet and Strong is basically hugging him through the trees. And now
Now we know.
they know.
Do you really want
Okay,
this?
instant BKB targeting the Tiny. Munkushi's on the runaway. Squadix is waiting. Maybe of a surprise. Just a slow on the Medusa. Nice path connecting. They are gonna try and make a play on the Dragon Knight. SSS is not ulting yet though. And that's all they did. It's a cooldown and a macro fire. That's 600 damage on a 3k Dragon Knight. Not even a dent.
At least the Stone Gaze was used and you did not spend any of your BKBs just yet. It's a small... No, you can't lose
Trying to
SSS
catch
here.
SSS. They got a ward right at the defender gate. Pulling SSS into the DK stun, and Kasane is trying to save him here, but SSS might just go down before his ulti goes off, and he is down. Kasane dead too, and Munkushi roared as he BKBs, but the Medusa's right next to him.
Yeah, it's
into
no
the
damage.
Fiend Strip, that's instantly broken, and they'll find Ryota, and here's a chance to reply. As the core, 30 HP remaining, should die to the dagger of Squadix, and will. SSS didn't get that refresher ready, and Aztekor is even buying back for this, returning from that outpost. Squadix, Sweet and Strong, trying their absolute darnest to get something
Oh, that
done.
was not a good
And
toss.
Squadix will barely be able to blink away. Munkushi, they are dropped low now. They've spent pretty much all of their resources, but Gyro is recognizing with all of those abilities and items down, it's still not a welcome party for me.
He simply lacks the DPS to do anything here. The buyback being forced out of the Dawnbreaker, that is huge. Now maybe you might have your refresher, but
SSS.
who knows if you're even going to
But the
live
fact
to
that they
use your ult for
found
the
the
second day?
Dawnbreaker, shouldn't that give you a warning sign that right here is a ward?
Radiant's
Is it
middle
just a
tower has
plain
fallen.
good read and everything's happening so hectically that you forgot about it? That ward's gonna stay. And now, fighting in bottom, found the Bane. They're gonna delete Ryota. They'll lose the Tiny too. 1-for-1 trade. Difference. BKB is ready. It's gonna go straight to Squadix. Blink forward. Gyrocopter is like, please don't bring them to me. Please don't bring them to me. Squadix is gonna run under vision
Not
of that
again.
Watcher. So they know the escape route, but they're not fast enough to follow.
What a mess. I mean, no wonder that they don't have time to even think about that ward. They'd only just about kited out the previous fight as well. And this unstoppable force. Eagle Song. Ready to buy the Disperser. She's just gonna go straight back up to your high ground. Why not? Aegis still had a minute left on it. Drums popped. Look at that damage. What do you do?
Radiant's middle tower is
Rocket on Snow. Just throw the stuns.
falling. Radiant's
700
bottom
mana
tower
down from
is
Medusa,
under
30
attack.
seconds on Aegis. Doesn't feel like a chance to fight, but we'll get the toss back. And Medusa's out of mana. Won't be able to get that Stone Gaze off on life number 1 necessarily, but man, are they buffing her up a lot. And without that MKB on the gyrocopter, it was almost desperation mode to try and get that kill going. Now they're going to try again. Toss back again. Stone Gaze is going off though, and they need to turn their backs against her. Tiny with a buyback. Red Splitter going to connect onto Kasane only. Snog back to work. That melee Rex is still standing. They are holding this base. They've spent a lot of resources just to get the Medusa away. One good thing that they have a Tiny in their lineup. And she can freely just jump in and blink toss. But I was surprised nobody was willing to counter-initiate on the Tiny the moment that Medusa gets sent back. They're not willing to throw anybody to interrupt the Tiny from making that play. He only dies at the latter part of that battle, and then he buys back in.
Quite surprised that he gets to do it a
Dire's
second
top
time,
tower
but
is under attack.
nonetheless, that is an Aegis with a Medusa. They were perfectly willing to see how far that mana pool would take her, how long she would live there. As it turns out, I simply get to retreat on the second life.
Yep.
And you feel so bad if you're one win having to kill her when her Aegis is on 20 seconds. You have no other choice.
But hey, think on the bright side. If you're a one-win fan, they didn't get our melee ranks. It was dropping low. We were able to get the Medusa killed once, and we bought more time. That MKB is soon going to be up. Then we have an answer to one of the items on Medusa's inventory, though she has already finished her next big item, which is the Disperser. So catching, locking her down. Kasane has to land some pretty serious ice paths this game.
Tower is under attack.
But with the Tiny, it does get a bit easier, because you know where the hero's going to be. If the Tiny just gets the toss off, you can always follow it up with the ice
Dire's bottom
path.
tower has fallen.
Yep. The question is, are you going to get to do it more than once? I think we just saw an exception. And now that his buyback is out,
Yep.
even if he gets the Force Staff in before the next fight, you get a single toss. That's it. That is what the game hangs on here.
Yep. And DK also has an Orchid in his inventory, right? So you can just spam that Orchid right under the feet of that Medusa. Blink in close, get that instant silence, ruin the toss back, kill the Tiny. That's a dieback on him, so he'll be gone for... well, I looked at his stats. I looked at his buyback status, and it's actually the magical 69 seconds of death time.
Nice.
Very nice. But that's a long time to play without your initiator.
Without your only chance of separating the Medusa or anybody else from the pack. So the rest of the fight, listen, you got a lineup that fights straight up, and right now you're just straight up second place.
Gonna start feeling worried once that Medusa Axe is gonna be up, because you already have the Scotty in your inventory and the Disperser, so you're gonna be slowing and mana burning everyone.
At least you held your game until Monkushi went to that Monkey King bar. No buyback on him right now, but there is a damage item on your gyrocopter. Those flags are finally going to start to
Kasane
hurt.
is gonna walk straight into Ryota though. Snog. Fly. Take 2 hits to take down the twin-headed terror.
If you're Monkushi right now, you tell the co-op to stay the hell back. Please, I need to get a shot at getting level 20. We need more of those flag attacks. But he's too
Strong's in
far off.
position, and nobody's checking this position out. They have a deep ward showing the Bane, showing the Elder. They see everybody right now. They're going to go for the Bane instead, and that's a good way to start the fight, because he is probably dying here. That Nightmare Tiny was perfect, but Squadix still finishes him off with another Scream. That Axe from the dagger making some work, and that is truly a good item to hold on to. Elder Tiny with the TP out. The Avalanche is not in range. Tiny afraid to show himself in case of a counter initiation, so he doesn't blink in.
Radiant's courier has
Base holds. Well,
Base holds again. That's again some serious damage on the tower, but another hold.
problem is that the next one will have to be into Aegis unless you find, by some grace of God, the opportunity to take the Roche yourself. I just don't see any way that eSpoiled would allow you to. And yeah, Snovich is going to force them right back into the base. No farming. Somebody knocking at your top tower is going to knock it over if you don't pull somebody back. Nope. Let the tower go then.
Tower fall.
They're still on the hunt here for this Bane. No clue where to actually find him, you just have to guess. This map is so big and so dark.
It's only 1300 HP, it's doable. Okay, he's walking right into them, and under the vision they go. They'll get the catch on the Bane. Hang out, there's vision here. And DK was close to getting that stun. That stun projectile is going to fly all the way back into base. And,
love watching that go.
Bonk.
Oof.
Disappears into nothingness. Meanwhile, a shard pickup for the Beastmaster. And if we look at his update in his inventory, he went for the Crimson Guard. So, indeed, the ultimate aura carrier Beastmaster. Aura Master. That's the core in the river. This completely whiffed the Sonic Wave. And he gets out. Can't afford a single mistake right now, one win.
Especially not one this could be. Then again, they're looking for it. They are getting that kill right there would have probably forced either a buyback or finding out that there is no buyback on the other Titan, because Roche is up. If you get that one right there, maybe you're able to sneak it. Now instead, the Medusa is gonna march straight for the pit.
Slither into the pit.
Yeah, all by your lonesome. Team's 2 screens away. Really, what are they gonna do to him?
Just gonna have to let this one go and use that time. Push out the waves. MKB ready on the gyrocopter. BKB in 8 seconds. And we're going the route of the Daedalus. Saw the Revenant's Baruch attempt in game 2. Which honestly I think wouldn't have been a bad option here either. But the traditional way. It helps blow up these supports. The old kind of the Bane, the Daedalus in that sense is better than the Baruch.
No, the Daedalus gives you a chance at suddenly deleting somebody.
Right.
And that is worth something over just steady damage output. Of course, you gotta do your own calculations on that, right? But what matters is getting the last HP off of somebody, not to have the most numbers onto somebody. In that regard, gimme crits when the game is in the balance. Last hold did mean he reached level 20. Another toss.
That's an illusion. That's not the right one. Losing everything on it. The silence of the follow-up on the Tiny. The roar comes out onto the gyrocopter. The SSS is bringing in as much healing as possible. Still has to refresh her for a second round. Squadic will push them away with Sonic Wave, but not a second chance to live. And SSS's second ulti goes down the drain. And eSpoiled looks like now they've finally broken the chokehold. The last hopes of one win go down the drain, and eSpoiled, congratulations, welcome to the grand finals.
Crack the code of one win. Just the one all the way from the opens. Very positive. Listen, I'll accept that when it's clear that these